Let our wonderful Nirmala Sundram take care. Nirmala, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Arun. So, hello, everyone. It's both an honor and a privilege to introduce someone who truly needs no introduction, yet deserves every accolade. Rushika Kale currently works as a talent intelligence consultant at Philips and epitomizes excellence in every aspect of her daily life. With a Bachelor of Engineering degree in computer technology from Yashwantrao Chavan College of Engineering, Nagpur, and a career spanning over 6 years, Rushika has established herself as a beacon of knowledge and expertise in the realm of data analysis. She has left an indelible mark at Philips by collaborating with stakeholders across the organization to drive research and development initiatives that drive profit. Her technical prowess encompasses a myriad of reporting tools and technologies such as Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense, SQL, and Python, which were utilized to complete over 45 projects. Her proficiency in data management skills, coupled with her adeptness in designing tools, sets her apart as a true expert in her field. From her humble beginnings as an associate analyst at Jade Global Private Limited in 2017 to her current role as a talent intelligence consultant at Philips, Rushika's journey serves as an inspiration to us all. But Rushika's impact extends far beyond the confines of her professional role. With a passion for teaching, she has imparted knowledge to over 2,000 students, spanning from beginners to seasoned professionals. She has conducted several Power BI sessions for our very own COE, leaving an indelible impression on all who have had the privilege of learning from her. I myself have been one of the lucky ones, as I was one of Rushika's students during our group's first Power BI session conducted by her, and I can confidently say that her instruction greatly enriched my own learning experience. So without further ado, I invite you all to join me in giving a warm and resounding welcome to our very own national treasure and my dear friend, Rushika Kale. I will now hand over the stage to her to conduct today's much-awaited Power BI portfolio management session.
And the Oscar goes to Nirmala Sundram.
Thank you, Arun.
All right. Is there anybody that knows Marathi? Anyone?
Yes, sir, I know.
How do you say Ali Re Ali, Rashika Ali? Our Rashika, Amsi Rashika. अरे क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ, अब आएगा मजा. So over to Rushika Kale.
Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much, Nirmala. You are making me cry. I already said it to you. Thank you so much for the introduction. I literally have no idea like why we were talking on that topic that other day, but that's really nice of you. So much. Thank you so much. Uh, and yes, again, like thank you so much everyone for joining. This is all over like more than 50 people that I can see in the session. I hope this session is going to be as informative, as useful as I want it to be. And I hope everyone is going to take as much as they can. We will be having some question answer session as well at the end. I have a couple of things that at least in the last couple of weeks, I have been hearing a lot from you guys. I am connecting with many people who are preparing for interviews, they are preparing for their portfolios, and they don't know how to present it to in front of the interviewers or in front of any companies in future. So I hope this session is going to be helpful to all of you. And again, thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much for Lakshmi for organizing this session and giving me this chance to be on the stage. I hope it will be as good as you want it to be again. And I think we can begin it right now. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. So as many of you already know, my session, my learnings, or my teachings, basically, it always happens through PPTs. I always create some slides. I always go through some planned, organized way. And I like it to be in that way only. So having said that, I'm going to share my screen. There are a couple of things that I'm going to do. There are a couple of things that you guys have to do. So I hope I am going to get as much responses as I want. because it is going to be helpful for you guys only whenever if you are going in the process of going through the interview, suppose, and explaining, presenting your projects in front of others, suppose. And I know like many of you are facing these issues, even in this batch, in this session as well today. So let's begin. Let me share my screen and let me know if you are able to see it. Okay, I'm going to wait every couple of minutes. If any time you feel that you need to ask some questions, so that will be the time for you to talk. Okay, but till then, let's just focus on my screen, and after that we can go ahead. All right, here we go. This is my share screen. All right. So I hope everybody is seeing. The name of the session was supposed to be portfolio management, but I thought of a couple of more ideas that I was going to talk on in today's session. So it is something about everything about projects, all about project. That is going to be the agenda for today's session, where we are going to discuss about portfolio creation, how you can manage it, the GitHub, how you can upload all of your projects on GitHub, as well as a very important question that I have been asked, that I have been getting asked, as well as I'm answering to them as well. So that is about how to answer the question related to tell me about your project. So how many of you are already facing this challenge? Like they don't know how to answer the question when interviewer asks them, tell me about your project. Every time they get asked and you guys facing issues, suppose. So whoever is in that audience, whoever don't know how to answer this question and they are getting stuck, suppose, so I think this session is going to be for you. So it is going to be all about projects. So let's begin with the plans, the content that we are going to do. The very first one is, as even Arun mentioned this thing every time, that I have done more than 45 plus projects. How did I do that? What was the planner? How I got this many databases? How I planned this many projects? How I built it? What was the strategy? Anything on that sort. After that, there is a particular slide which is going to help you get the different dataset links. There are like, these are the dataset links from where I have learned it. Not learned it, I have got the dataset to work on the projects. After that, there is a new aspect of it that I have added, where I'm going to talk about the question, tell me about your project. Okay, I have seen this question where people are facing issues, they don't know how to answer this question basically. And I hope if you are a fresher, you are just starting it out, then you also might get confused, sometimes scared probably, and you don't know how to tackle that in front of interview. Okay, so that is going to be the third. And finally, we will talk about portfolio management. Like, I hope everyone is having their own separate folder containing all of your projects, designs, data sets, everything that you have collected so far. I hope you have it all organized in one folder. I have kept it at one place. I will show it to you. If you have not done it, at least for this session, create one folder, add all of your projects, not all, but at least some sample project or anything, whatever you have worked on in one specific folder. And we are going to put it that on GitHub. Okay, so how to do that and what are the different platforms as well through which we can create portfolio, that we will see. Okay. So let's begin with the question. How did I do the 45 plus projects? But before that, what is this projects? What topic, what language, what tools that we are supposed to work on? So I hope many of you are going and trying to be a data analyst sometime in the future. You probably already a data analyst, or you might trying to be a data analyst in certain company. So the skill set that we need is going to be business intelligence tools, any AI, any BI tool. More specifically, it is supposed to be a data visualization tool, Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense, Google Data Studio, anything, whichever your company is asking you to learn. Okay, so that is going to be your data visualization tool. SQL, a database management, Microsoft Excel, a very common software, but is a very powerful software that we have in the market. R or Python as a language, a soft skill which says critical thinking or the communication that you need to have while if you want to be a good data analyst in future. Okay. Out of these 6 statements, out of these 6 points, there are the first 4 points where you can actually showcase your work to the client. Remaining 2 things, you can showcase it after once you go into the company. Okay. Like communication, you can showcase, you can like you can give the complete statement as it is, whatever you have learned. and you can talk about it in front of the interviewer. But what about the actual communication that will happen through with the client? Okay, so these last 2 points are going to be there when you will be on actual payroll. But the first 4 points are need to be justified in front of interviews, in front of interviewer. How did they know? How will they know that you have worked on this particular software? How will they know that you know how to tackle this type of a query or this type of a data set which having a lots of raw, like it is not very good, suppose. The Microsoft Excel, R and Python, all of these 4 points basically. So the skills that I'm talking about here, that needs to be showcased. You cannot showcase it in front of the interviewer from 4 different locations. You have to have it at one common place from where they can see it by themselves. Sometimes they can see it from your end as well. So in that time, at that time, how you are supposed to showcase it? So the answer to this is portfolio. You need to have a portfolio where you are showcasing all of these first 4 points. Minimum requirement to become a data analyst is this. You need to have a data visualization tool, you need to have a SQL, you need to have an Excel. I will again suggest, like, even if you have a Python, that is a plus credit for you. But even if you don't know, but at least with first 3 options, it is good to go for you. Okay. So with this skill set that need to be showcased, that need to be justified in front of client, you need to have some common place where you are going to gather it all. So what is going to be that place? And that place is going to be your portfolio. Okay. Before going towards the portfolio topic, let me tell you like how I have worked on my 45 plus project, because I have seen people struggling with that question कि डेटा सेट कहाँ से लाओ, फिर उसके बाद डेटा सेट मिल जाता है तो स्टार्ट कहाँ से करें. They don't know, they literally get stuck. Okay, to start with a single project they take 1 or 2 days of a time and still they cannot even begin, like where what next they are supposed to do basically. So how did I do that? Okay, but before that, again, I have a Kahoot where I am going to ask a couple of questions. It is all going to be on Power BI, considering I am the Power BI person. I have not asked anything else. A very general basic question just to understand how's the knowledge among you guys. Okay. The only thing about Kahoot right now is I can see there are almost 51 students in the class, but the limit of this Kahoot is going to be 40 people. So let's see who is going to be joining this 40 club, 40 people club. Let me share the link of this Kahoot. Let me understand how's the understanding of you guys with Power BI right now. And let me just give me a moment. I'm just sharing this link. Yes, start. We are having 40. We have the limit of 40. So first come, first serve. The first 40 people who is going to join, they will going to see the session. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Yes, Priyansha, good old days. You have always been a topper. So let's see how's your क्या पढ़ाई कैसे चल रही है Power BI की. So link is here. Let me share my screen as well. All right, 10 people sharing the screen. Share the sound. Here we go. Chalo. So there are how many people so far? 24. 26. Last 14 seats. If anyone wants to join. I'm going to wait for next minute and I will start after that. Chalo, last 12. There are many people. Oh, that's nice. Okay, there is many people that I'm seeing for the first time.
Rushika, the funny thing is we are again seeing that noob.
Yes. Somebody. Okay, let me remove that. Please have your own names, everybody. I am not going
No,
to
I was
give
not
such
talking about. I was not talking about removing. I was like enjoying the fact because I have seen it in some batch 3 or I think I remember it from batch 3. Somebody was the noob.
Yes. Chalo. I think that is going to be the strength of this Kahoot. I'm going to start. 32 and let's begin. Best of luck, everyone. I hope the sound is audible in the background. Three,
Yes,
Arun,
it's good, Rashika. It's good.
the hosting the quiz. Okay, so the question one can create a visualizations on 4 options: data window, page sheet, query window, relation window. So the last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes. So 11 people have given the correct answer. A visualization can be created only on a page sheet. So the page which is available on Power BI desktop. So data window, query window, relation window. First of all, there are no windows like that, but there are the views, table views, Power Query Editor, and the model view, something like that. Chalo. Kirtana having the first position. Amia, Nu, Priyanshu. Chalo, top 5 people so far. Question number 2. Which views are available in Power BI desktop? I just answered the question. So let's see. All right. 15 seconds to go. Good. So the answer is both A and B. What is the third one? There is a table view, there is a report view. What is the third view? Dashboard is not the one. You guys can put your answer in the chat box as well. What is the remaining third view which is remained? Model view. Correct, Priyanshu. So a big change on the screen. Priyanshu is leading up. Question number 3. Which of the following are building blocks of Power BI? A very basic question, but if you are planning to go for a PL 300, it is going to be important. Correct. Visualization, data sets, reports, dashboards, and tiles. The 5 building blocks. Okay, no change on the scoreboard. That's nice. Question number 4. What DAX function can be used to return a value in a column if a condition is met? Which DAX function we are supposed to use to match with the condition? We are talking about DAX function here. So be mindful of that word. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Correct. If is the answer. Okay. New entry on the scoreboard. Question number 5. Contains transactional data or facts of a business process. What is it called? What type of a data contains transactional data or fact of a business process? All right, last 10 seconds. Correct. Answer is fact table. It is a table where more quantity column, numerical columns will be there. Which is used to calculate the data in each row. We are talking about type of a column, type of something which will help us to calculate the data in each row. So which one of this could be the answer? All right, last 10 seconds. We are talking about calculating the data with respect to each row. The answer was supposed to be calculated column. A calculated column creates a physical column where each row will receive its own calculation as well as each value. Major is measure remains as a idle calculation, which can be there in a table, but unless and until you call for it, it won't be there. You won't be able to see it. Okay, there is a new entries. There are so many new entries on the screen. Question number 7. Which of the following illustrates many to one relationship? If you have a good English, you will get the answer. Read it carefully. Many to one relationship. Last 5 seconds. Many banana trees planted in a garden. A garden 1, many banana trees, many to 1. All right. So 14 people have given us the correct answer. Okay. A small change on the screen. Question number 8. Calculate a result from an expression formula and the result can only be viewed in the visualization. Okay. I just gave the answer as well. Calculates a result from an expression formula and the result can be only viewed when it will be on a visualization. What could it be? Alright, last 5 seconds. Answer was supposed to be a measure. I just said measure don't get the physical presence. It will appear whenever you will put it on the screen. That is when it will be on a visualization. In a table, in a card, anywhere. Awesome. Priyanshu is leading. Last 2 question, guys. Question number 9. It creates the connection between Power BI cloud-based data and the data source located on-premise. On-premise means something which is in your local system, offline. So how will you connect your data with data available cloud-based and the data available on-premise? What could be the answer? We are talking about creating a connection here. We are not talking about a platform. How does this connection work? So it is through the gateway, the on-premise gateway. That is the answer. All right. Last question. Tables and matrix in Power BI are used to. What is the purpose of table and matrix in Power BI? Very easy answer. It is like a giveaway. I hope everyone will take the correct response. Chalo, last 5 seconds and we will see the winners. Correct. The data is supposed to be displayed in structure format. You will use table and matrix. Nothing other than that is going to help us through the table and matrix. Okay, at least not at this point of time. So let's see who all are winners. The top 3. Third position, Animesh. Congratulations. I hope everyone is giving them. Second position, Lakshmi. And the first one, I think, Priyanshu. Okay, all 3 of you are my students.
All are from your batch.
Yeah, all of you from my batch. Like, I was not expecting that, but that's nice. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Animesh. Thank you, Priyanshu. So, congratulations for the winners, and I hope for others as well, you guys have understood something, learned something new through this exam, through this Kahoot. And like you probably have got the understanding like where you guys are facing issues or you are not understanding or where you are stuck, suppose, right? You might got everything through that. So idea behind this quiz for today is I wanted to understand what is the what is your understanding of Power BI so far? Because if you are not clear about your basics with Power BI, there will always be a condition or there will always be a situation where you are feeling stuck when you want to create a report. So if your basics are not clear, then creating a report is not going to help you. Okay. I have seen people ki jo sirf they just drag and drop. They feel like that's the whole purpose of Power BI. They just drag and drop and that's it. They don't feel anything otherwise. Okay. But that is not everything with Power BI. Okay. So please work on your basics and then again try to plan your report, what you want to create, and it is going to help. Okay. So let's get back to our slides and all right. Here we go. Chalo. So after Kahoot, the question that most of the time people ask me, like, how did I start my creation of report? Any report, whenever I start my creating my report, as well as how I worked on 45 plus basically. So 45 plus reports are not just with Power BI desktop. I have worked on ClickSense, ClickView, Google Data Studio, Crystal Reporting, and Power BI was one of it. So the data set that I have taken, so just to learn, I always say this to my students as well in the classes, that if you want to learn, work on more data set. It is not about quantity, it is not about quality of your project, it is about a quantity. How many number of projects you have built. The more number you try, the better understanding of your Power BI will be. So even actually it is a foolproof plan that I have done in my past. Like it was first point, it was a COVID period. I had a lot of time in my hand, and secondly, there was a time when it was a situation of getting layoff. So in that situation, I had to show them that I am useful, and to showcase that this is me and this is how I can work. So I have to give always something best to my client, to my like employer, and that is the driving force which helped me to go through the 45 plus projects, or as many projects that I could do. It is not even 45, it is more than that. I no remember. But how did I do that? First of all, practicing it by myself. So that time it was something called as Makeover Mondays, MOM. Weekly basis they used to launch the challenge, and I used to get the data set. I used to clean it, I used to work on it, I used to share the report at the end of the day, at the end of the week, basically. So most of my projects started with MOM, Makeover Mondays. After that, the biggest, highest, another largest section goes to the job or company, whichever company I have been to. Because after showcasing that this many projects I have done, they always have preferred giving me direct client projects. And that's why I have worked on Australian, UK, Netherlands, this country projects. Like they have always given me direct client project. There was no middleman at such times, because they know that I could understand the requirement of the client. And the next 30% of those section went from job or company, came from job and company basically. After that, I also have participated in different data challenges, EDNA, that is Enterprise DNA, which usually shares the monthly challenge, where again we have to clean the data, and they're actually corporate like data set that they share. Okay, so that is one EDNA. And the next are the different data challenges which keeps happening. If you actually go through my LinkedIn account and if you see my work since 2020, I don't do it so very often since last 1 or 2 years, but from the time 2020 to 2022 mid at least, you will see almost every 15 days, almost every 1 month, I have put at least a dashboard, at least something of my own, something that I have learned. I have put always it on my LinkedIn. Okay, you will find every work of mine on that. I have participated in number of challenges. Even if it was the worst of my report, still I have participated. I never double thought like ये सही है क्या, ये गलत है क्या? What if my answer is not correct? What if my dashboard is not good enough for others? Suppose I never thought of that, and I have always like submitted and created a post for those. So I feel that you need to have some driving force for you to create this report. Many of you just doing it for fun, but if you are doing it for something, like there is a time of recession still going on, if you want to be always on a top, so practicing it is what going to help you. Okay, so these are the platforms which helped me to build this many projects. I hope you will find your own platforms. You will find a lot many different platforms right now in 2024, and you will work on it regularly, consistently, and definitely there will be more count than like there will be a number of quantities that you will get for your projects. The dataset link that I was talking to you about, it says like these are the different dataset links from where I have got the dataset that time. Makeover Mondays, Enterprise DNAs, the Pomerol dataset challenge, WOW, that is also Workout Wednesdays. So on every Wednesday, they used to share the dataset. It is from Tableau if you want to work with. Data World, Maven Analytics. I believe many of you already have seen it or heard of it in the past. So these are the dataset link. If you required, if you need, I will share this slide with you all in the group, suppose, and probably it will help you through to go through these links as well. And finally, we have reached to the question that says, tell me about your project. Okay. Before starting to go through this question, let me give you some time and think about what we have discussed so far. What motivates you to create a project? What demotivates you to not create a project? So I want to listen both of these questions. I have 5 minutes in my hand to listen to your problems, like why you have not created any project, suppose, or if you are creating a project, then what are the challenges that you guys have faced? After that, I will talk about tell me about your project. So you can put your answer in the chat box, or if you want to talk, please you can unmute, I guess, and you can speak it out.
Rashka, I have a question here. So, so I know your wonderful students can talk to me about the famous 7 pillars that Rushika Kale talks about, which becomes which makes it very easy to go through the life cycle of the project and explain it very well, because you also have a portfolio at the end of your classes. And I have been very privileged to be a part of all the first 3 batches where we discussed all these questions and things like that. My question here is, typically they say describe the life cycle of a project, of a typical project, and I don't know whether I should start. How do I start? So that always is a question for me. Or how much should I speak? For example, if you notice Nirmala, when she was giving your introduction, uh, I gave one line introduction in in Marathi, whereas Nirmala gave like a 5 minute introduction. So I am always confused about how long should I speak? Should I speak 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes? That is my question.
I believe it depends on audience. If your audience does know what it's all going to be, then there is not much introduction that we have to give. But if you know that audience is new, they don't know about what this whole session is going to be about, or like we are talking about this scenario, but even if it is for project, suppose. So if your audience is non-technical, in just in case, so in that case, the more information you give and in a simple language, that much it will be good. But if your audience is technical, suppose in case, so it will be just one liner, two liner, like it will be as short as possible, because other person is able to understand that part. And that's how I usually decide, because we get to understand the this person thought when we speak with them. So if that person is good with technical knowledge about the project or not, and on that basis, I've tried to give as much clarity as possible. So that's what I do usually. Probably it can be different for others as well. Yes. All right. Anybody else with the question? So the question originally was, if you guys have created any projects, so where did you feel you are stuck? If you have not built any project, so what is there that is not motivating enough to create a project, suppose? Okay, anything. You can put it in the chat again. You can have it, you can be audible and say. I can see
Hi,
Vijaya.
Rushika.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Rushika. This is Vijaya. I had done a single project, and I'm working on my second project. But somewhere I feel like when I see the data, I feel overwhelmed. Like I somewhere get confused when I was working and when I'm develop the KPIs or whatever it may be. But somewhere I get confused again, even the colors, the palettes, everything. Like it should be in an appeasing manner, right? When it comes to when you're presenting your like Novi Pro somewhere. When I see other products as reference also, I really get confused and overwhelmed. Yeah, what is this? What is happening? There are many things are happening somewhere like that. So did it happen
Right.
to you on your first projects, like at the starting, beginning stages?
Definitely, definitely. It definitely happened to me as well. So what I did, my very first one or two project, I built it like I copied it. Okay, so what my manager did that time, like it was first time introduction to the micro strategy. That is also one of the BI tool actually. So micro
Okay.
strategy is my very first BI tool, and that time my manager gave me one PowerPoint, or it was a PNG image actually for some project, and he asked me, she asked me to copy exactly the way that particular report is. Okay. She said, do whatever you want. This is the image. You have to replicate it as it is in MicroStrategy. That was my task. Okay. So I took a week to do that, because there were many stuff that I did not know. There was many stuff that I couldn't understand how it happened. And still, it was like one of those projects that I finished it exactly. So the data set, I still have the data set as well as that project with me. Let me show that screen to you. I built it in a MicroStrategy actually. No, sorry, I built it in a ClickView afterwards. It was my healthcare project. Okay.
Okay.
So let me show it to you. This was the first image. Sharing the screen. Okay, this was the one that I built afterwards, but it was something that they gave me in the PNG image. Okay, so the most time that I took was to understand this particular part, female and male percentage ratio. Okay, it was completely all right. It was very easy to figure out what is happening in other part of this report, but something like this, when they gave that image and they asked me to copy, so the way I started to troubleshoot, I started to think about what are the, like, from where I can get something like this. I talk about community forums on Power BI. I talked at many places actually to figure that out. And I got the answer at the end. But because of this whole process, I learned so many things because I was replicating and I wanted to get as exact design as possible. Okay. So I feel if you are very new, if you don't know how to start, okay, if you have no guidance about creating project, so try to replicate if somebody else has built something. You do not have to showcase it in public, but at least just for your learning purpose, सिर्फ starting में copy paste करो, like replicate करो, like how other people have built it and how you are building it right away. Okay, your only target supposed to be कि I want to replicate it as it is. Okay, with respect to color theme, with respect to KPI cards, everything. But data set also supposed to be there and everything. I think that might help you in such case.
Rishika, my English is not too good. May I ask a question in Hindi?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Because I don't know whether you understand Hindi or Marathi or not. So, माझे एक अड़चन है, मतलब मेरे नाम अरुण है. मेरे को एक डिफिकल्टी ये है कि ये क्लिक व्यू क्या होता है मुझको मालूम नहीं है.
Yes, is also one of the type of data visualization tool. तो ClickView के अभी नया रिलीज आना बंद हो चुका है. ClickSense is the one that is in market right now. But उसका जो ओरिजिनल ओल्ड वर्जन था, it was in 2020 का टाइम. So it used to be ClickView. उसके बाद आगे 2022 के बाद they have stopped releasing the new updates about ClickView.
मैं आभारी आहे. I'm grateful that you've answered my question, understanding my Hindi, because a lot of times I've seen कि students को they are not comfortable in a certain language, तो उनको थोड़ा थोड़ा दिक्कत आता है कि how do I ask this question in front of 50 people in the audience. तो इसलिए मैं ये प्रश्न को हिंदी में पूछा.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I hope others might have got some motivation, like they can ask this question, like Vijaya did, like Arun did. So feel free to speak. Okay, all right. I'm reading the questions which is available in a chat. So Noman says he feels difficulty in framing KPIs from the data set. Okay, that is, I guess, one of the most common issue with everyone. Like how to figure out about KPIs. Okay, we will talk on that. Next is, hello ma'am. First of all, thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Sages. No problem. My question is about how to make our Power BI dashboard report visually appealing, because as a fresher, we don't have much experience on this thing. So answer to this question is again replicate. I have couple of website. I used to follow Behance and Pinterest. Okay, go to these websites and check for like dashboard, something like that. You search for dashboard, you search for something in that language, and like dashboard report in Power BI, and there will be like n number of different designs they are going to show you. So try to replicate the color theme and the design template like that. Okay, it was again one of my gig. Okay, I have worked on one of the project, like external project coming from one.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Can you repeat that platform? Actually, I want to note it down.
Yeah, I put it in the chat box actually. I already
Okay, ma'am.
wrote it down in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. So let me show my screen. So what I used to do, I built like so many different designs. You see one design, you will find number of different designs after that. Okay. So this is like 1 to 70. Like these are the 70 number of different designs that I have built. Okay. So you can see all these designs from here. Okay. So this was what I have built exactly in Power BI. I copy pasted the design and I put it in my PowerPoint image. Okay, so these are the different color themes, designs, how you can create different like Power BI reports basically. So just for my future ideas actually. Okay, so it was not exactly as it is, which was available on those platforms. I changed a couple of designs, I changed a couple of colors, and through that I got the new one. Okay, so something like that you guys can also do. Like you can see the Behance or Pinterest websites where you will see the different designs, whichever you like, shortlist it, try to replicate it as it is again with the colors, and once it is done you can just like change the small color portion. Like if it is a blue, then you can use a light shade of a bluish green, something like that. Okay, so that particular website helped me, this two website basically. After certain time you will get the idea ki हाँ कैसे बनाने हैं अलग अलग. ठीक है, like there are so many images design come to your mind ki it will be very easy for you to figure it out. Okay, so that is questions answer to the Tejas. Pawan says, I'm confused with calculative analysis and color combination design. So again, Pawan, the same idea. You do not have to invent something new. You just have to figure out कि बाकियों ने कैसे बनाया है. You just have to follow the same path, and like gradually you will get the idea कि हाँ, this is how they have built. So something with the different context I can build as well. Okay. So if you are facing so much issues while creating a report, my always first recommendation is to replicate whatever others have built, suppose in that case. Okay. After certain time, you can think about what you would have done in that case. Okay. पहले बाकियों का replicate करो, फिर खुद को ही like you give 10 minutes, 30 minutes to yourself and think about what you would have done instead of that person. Okay. Chaitanya says, can you please share the image so that we can try to build it? Yeah, sure. I will do that. Then Animesh, please tell about Microsoft Fabric, Figma, and Canva. So Figma and Canva, these are the websites as well as softwares which is available for like image designing actually. Okay. So Microsoft Fabric is the technical topic. We can have a different separate session on the same. Okay. But Figma and Canva, they are something like which is on the like it is something for image editing, image creation, video creation. There are so many uses of it actually. Okay. Karthik says, hi, madam. I have started what type of project in Power BI as a fresher? Anything and everything, Karthik. I will suggest you if you find your data sets a bit of intriguing, like you feel कि हाँ ये type का data मुझे चाहिए, so just start building. Okay, don't discriminate कि ये data hard लग रहा है, ये data easy लग रहा है. Either you start replicating someone's report, or if you find some data easier for you, to just start building something of your own. Okay. If
Rushika,
you just yes.
one problem I'm facing when I'm a lot of people are taking appointments through Lakshmi's top made with me and the team COE. You may have seen we have 99 to 100 people who have registered, and majority of the projects that I'm seeing are like IMDb database, वही पुराना pizza problem, वही पुराना COVID analysis, and all these topics are old and stale, and interviewers are most of the hiring managers and interviewers are literally sick of seeing them because I'm not able to if I get like 10 resumes in a day and I have to select only two people, uh, uh, I'm sick of seeing the same and in that too they don't जैसे आपने बोला ना कि आप किसी का अगर if your thing is not working out, if you don't have ideas you can copy. People are literally copying from YouTube videos and presenting to me, and it is extremely boring. So, how do you? What suggestion do you have? Because somebody may have maybe from commerce background, somebody
Right.
may be from. There's somebody called Anisha MR. Yesterday, she wrote to me. She works in Lowe's in Bangalore. She wrote to me that she's from SCM background या कोई finance background से, कोई retail background से है. So, should they not do the projects? For example, if I'm from a biotechnology background, can I take या for example मोहित को ले लीजिए आप. Mohit is
Yes.
from healthcare background. Will it be beneficial for him to do couple projects from his own background so that because uska background to pehle se hi hai, now he can leverage his previous background, तो उसको ज्यादा points नहीं मिलेंगे?
परफेक्ट यस वो डेफिनेटली मिलेंगे एंड दैट्स वेयर पीपल आई गेस दे आर गोइंग रॉन्ग कि एक ही टाइप का डेटा सेट जो लोगों का दिखता है वही एज अ शोकेस करना दैट इज रॉन्ग बट टू रीच टू दैट पॉइंट कि जहाँ पे दे कैन क्रिएट समथिंग विच इज ऑफ देयर ओन डोमेन दे मस्ट बिल्ड समथिंग जिससे दे विल गेट यूज टू क्रिएटिंग अ रिपोर्ट बेसिकली सो द व्हेन आई वाज गिविंग द आइडिया ऑफ रिप्लिकेटिंग इट and I didn't say कि you have to showcase those reports in front of anyone. They are just for your practicing because you feel stuck. So when you feel stuck, you must do something, and that's why I said कि at least फिर कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है तो at least replicate करके तो भी करो. Okay. But once you start getting some idea, once you start feeling confident while creating a report, then gradually you can start working on a data set which is of your own domain. So Arun, as you mentioned, it is something from e-commerce. Suppose SCM background. Suppose you are in
Yeah, thank you.
operations.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that way, whichever the domain you are from, try to get the data set. There are n number of different data set links you can get it from. Okay. Tariq says issues with DAX queries. Practice, practice, practice. That's the only answer to the DAX queries. And again, community forums, Power BI community forum, that is also going to help you get the solution on those. Okay. Kirtana says, I want to improve my data cleaning and data modeling part before the dashboard. What are the ways that is, because in real time, I can able to make a good dashboard, but the challenge part is data handling. Okay. So data modeling and data cleaning, it depends on variety of cases. For example, if you are working with the corporate projects, it is not only you who is going to be working on the project, suppose. So if it is a team, how's the data is coming to you? Is it a import mode, direct query mode? What are the options that you have where you can handle your data? There are multiple factors actually on this topic, but it is a really good topic for having another session. So how to handle a different data, how to clean our data basically, and how to work with the data modeling. Okay, so we can connect on that, Kirtana, separately, or suppose we can have the separate session on the same. With Lakshmi, if you want, you can make the note of this particular point said by Kirtana. Okay.
Yeah, Rishika.
Anirudh, thanks. Anirudh says, Madam, can we do it in Excel? Because Power BI is something new for me. I'm learning right now. Definitely. If you are able to create a report through the Excel, then definitely do that. If you are able to create the dashboard, suppose. Okay. So it is completely all right. Okay. Whichever platform you want to use, at the end, it is going to be a report. At the end, it is going to help somebody make their decisions. Okay. That's why I said okay, I started with ClickView, I'm ending up with Power BI. So it doesn't matter. You learn one good software, it is going to help you tackle any other new software as well. Okay. Power BI is my core at the moment, but you put any new software in front of me, which is data visualization, I can still work through that. थोड़ा बहुत इशू जाएगा जो कैलकुलेशन पार्ट में हो सकता है बिकॉज आई एम यूज टू टैक्स लैंग्वेज बट अदर सॉफ्टवेयर माइट नॉट हैव दैट टैक्स करेक्ट दे विल हैव देयर ओन फॉर्मूला लैंग्वेज दैट्स व्हाई ओके विजय
So,
स्ट्रगल्स फॉर द न्यू कमर्स यस सर
Rishka ma'am, one question I will ask you because many people have been asking me this. There are many people who have heard about your magic. कि everybody talks about seven pillars. Seven pillars. Rishka ऐसा कुछ पढ़ाती है जिसमें seven pillars होते हैं. तो ये seven pillars होते. Do you have the slide of the seven pillars? Because I'm very excited to. I don't want you to go into the details, but वो होते क्या हैं? वो सात pillars क्या होते हैं जिसमें all of your students are so comfortable and so discussing about those.
Okay. Okay. Let me show that screen to you. It is just I did not have it open. मैं वैसे पीछे search करी भी चलो. Share the screen back. Okay. So what Arun was talking about, having the seven pillars, these are the ones. Okay. So seven pillars, it is the process, like this is what, and this is how I learned actually, learning Power BI or learning any other visualization tool, data visualization tool. So these are the seven steps. Always go with one step at a time. And it is going to help you not only just create a report, it will also help you to learn any new data visualization tool as well. So once you start with extracting the data, that means getting the data. In Power BI, the concept is get data, but overall something where you have to extract. Okay, agar you are using Tableau, so there might be something else which is helping you to extract the data. If you are using Excel, so there will be something else which is extracting the data. Okay, so it is universal. These 7 steps are universal for any visualization tool that you use. Next is transformations. It means you clean your data to make it perfect with respect to your given data set, to make it perfectly available for your next project. Okay, so that is transformation. Third is modeling. Once your data is clean, you will build it to create a model. Okay, you will work on a model if you have one or if you have more than one number of data set with you. That is the modeling process for you. After that, it's a calculation. Calculation means a formula language where formula you will build the DAX. Okay. So any formula language basically. In Power BI, it is a DAX. In any other place, it will be something else. Then you will visualize it. That is on report view. Finally, you will distribute. Distribute means you will share this report with others. And finally, there is automation. Automation means you are going to automate all the data along with this report. मतलब next time तुम्हें हाथ लगाने की जरूरत ना हो तुम्हारे report को. It's supposed to get automated on the go. Okay, as the new data comes in, your report supposed to get a new data set as well. Okay, so these are the 7 steps that I usually teach in the class. Like this is how use, like at least for me it helped a lot. I hope others, for other also in my batches, it has helped. Because if you are following, if you are planning to learn something new, some new data visualization software, so my recommendation will be just follow the 7 steps and it will be easier for you to learn. Because वो रहता है ना कि you get confused. पूरा का पूरा report, पूरा like the whole Power BI desktop is in front of you, and that's where you feel stuck कि मैं शुरू कहाँ से करूँ. So when you get the one by one roadmap कि हाँ पहले तुम्हें extraction का देखना है, ठीक है, I will only focus on extraction then. फिर you just have to focus on transformation. ठीक है, मेरा अभी at the time transformation ही है, and so on you will learn the whole software. Okay, that's why these 7 steps are going to be useful. All right. So these are the 7 steps Arun was talking about. Chalo. I can see Sakshi has raised her hand. Yes, Sakshi, if you want to talk.
Yeah, so basically, I'm a student right now and I'm
Mhm.
transitioning into a data analyst. So currently, I am working on a research paper, which is I just faced on difficulty at the QA position at my last workplace. So for this thing, now we aren't able to get any data set on any platforms on the internet. So we are still creating our own data set, and on the about the approx calculation, we are like creating 4.5 or like 5 lakhs data set right now.
Wow.
And still we are maintaining on a docs level. And we are just facing an issue to like upload that file into a Jupyter Colab, and then we will be working as a visualization. I will be using in Tableau Power. So the question is at the base level, like what should we do now? Like we basically need a JSON or the CSV file. So should we upload it in an online database like AWS or like Snowflake, or should we now firstly make a proper Excel sheet and then we should move further? Like we just have a raw data and yeah.
Excel might not be useful after certain time, and even if you use Excel, it will just slow down your most of your processes. So first recommendation will be SQL Server. Okay, if you have a SQL Server knowledge about it. You talked about JSON next. So REST API, if any one of your team members knows about Postman, how to connect with the public APIs and something.
We are aware.
Yeah, so that can be the second solution to you, because we in my team there was a .NET guy in my team in my previous company, and that person used to handle all of these Postman concepts. Okay, like he used to take the data, and there used to be like lakhs, like number of lakhs, which is continuously changing every minutes, every seconds. So Postman was capable enough to handle all of this data. So the process used to go from so there is a I'm writing down that particular platform on the chat box. So there is a platform called as Dear Zero XLO. Okay. So these are a couple of softwares, couple of platforms which helps to manage the overall supply chain, overall financial CRMs for for foreign countries. Okay, there is like main clients who are coming from Australia and New Zealand and UK, etc. So they use these platforms. So the .NET developer used to connect the data from this Deer to Postman first, and from Postman they used to send this data to SQL Server. And me as a Power BI developer, I finally used to get the server name, username, and password. to that particular SQL server. So that's how the process used to go. And I think it is important when our data is very big and it contains lots of information, and it is actually security wise, it is also very important to maintain. Okay. Excel, I'm not recommending because Excel का एक time का limit है. एक time के बाद like your Power BI will also get slower, and even Excel will also not like support collaborative. That's right.
Okay. Any recommendation for the like cloud? Like we can get any access from the student ID or from the college, like maybe AWS or Snow, like any.
Yes,
Any
AWS
will work.
might be the, and I guess this will be 40 days. If it's just a project that you have to give for particular semester, suppose, so student ID ke basis pe bhi you will get, I guess, license. I have like there is like 3 months, 2 months of free account details that we can get for AWS, I guess. So you can check it out for that. Okay, you won't need to have, you won't need to pay anything for the same, and you will able to take all of your data from online AWS to your direct server, direct Power BI subsystem. Okay. I don't exactly have the overall process of it, but search about it on the same line. Okay.
Thanks for the insight.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Okay, so next question, they says, which one should I choose to showcase my project? Power BI report or Power BI dashboard? Should I create Power BI report or Power BI dashboard for the project? Do you have do you understand the difference between Power BI report and Power BI dashboard first? For Snowflake, you will get for free $100 credits, right? Okay. Chalo. Yes, Ibrahim. Okay, that is going to be the last question. We are going to move forward to understand. Tell me about your project. Okay. Yes, Ibrahim.
Hello, Rushika.
Yes.
This is my first session with you, so it was my bad luck that I missed all your previous session. So, my question is there any platform to practice DAX? Like for SQL, there are many platforms to practice, but I don't know, is there anything for DAX practice?
Right. So first of all, practice it through the simple data set that is available, suppose. And second is, like recently, a couple of days back only, I have seen it in the past also, but I have seen the formal post about it on Lakshmi's platform. So Lakshmi, if you are available, suppose, so please share that particular post about Wise Owl you have shared once.
Yeah,
Couple
I'll
of
share
days,
it in
right?
the Power BI group right away.
Yes. Ibrahim,
Okay.
Lakshmi is going to share that link about the LinkedIn post. So there she has explained how you can practice Power BI. Okay, Power Query editors, DAX, and the data
Yes.
modeling, everything. Okay, everything
Yes.
about Power BI, you can have the exercise channel on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Chalo. I hope I have solved many of your questions. If you are stuck, feeling stuck. Next point that we are going to see right now. Next is going to be the question, tell me about your project. Okay, sharing my screen again. So people often gets the question, tell me about your project if you're going for more than 1 year of experience. Okay, if you're going for 0 to 2 years as well, or anything more than that, this is going to be the constant question that you are going to get. Tell me about your project. Okay, so how do you are supposed to answer this question? So first of all, I always have mentioned this point that interviewer gets impressed because of your confidence, because of how you answer the question. It is not just because you have a very good technicality and you have all the answers to the questions they ask, but it's mostly about how naturally you answer those questions. It's supposed to be on your like fingertips, like whatever the scenario they says to you, it is supposed to be like, in a way that you have already went through that process or you already have faced that issue, and that's why you know it already. Okay, and that will only happen if you have done number of projects, if you have done the proper exercises and etc. Okay, but still in such cases, if they are asking, tell us about your project, what was your latest project that you worked on, just in case. So how to answer this question? So I said, like I always usually I always usually tell this, that consider this project as a movie plot. Okay, you have to know all the twists and turns. You always have to understand what is the final summary of it. Who is the hero, who is the villain? Villain means what are the issues coming from that report or the overall data set. Hero means what are the plus that they are getting from this report. Okay, who are the audience? What type of a genre of this data set going to be? So think of this project like a movie plot where you have all the answers to those movies. Okay, And that's how you are supposed to plan your whole project. When I was giving my very first interview, I actually wrote it down. Okay, I wrote it down all the questions that possibly could be asking to me about my project. मतलब कुछ भी पूछ लो, like they might ask me कि have you had any conflicts between the team members? Okay, I also had those questions. If I have missed some question and in my next interview they might have asked about the same, तो मैं फिर नेक्स्ट टाइम के इंटरव्यू के लिए आई यूज टू राइट दैट आंसर कि हाँ ठीक है ये पूछा था मेरे को आया नहीं तो हाउ एम आई सपोज टू आंसर इट नेक्स्ट टाइम. Okay. So I have written it down every time whenever I have like it. I write it down once time only, but whenever I got stuck for the next interview, I always have answered all of those questions. So tell me about your project. I have listed down couple of points that like to whom I have answered the questions. First of all, when they ask about your project, you are supposed to tell about project name. Okay, what was the name of your project? After that, the domain or industry name. For example, the data, if whichever the industry you belong to, e-commerce, supply chain, operations, procurement, whichever the data set you have got finance. Okay, so you have to tell about that domain or industry name. Okay, from where did you get the data set? What was the source? Basically, SQL, Excel. कभी कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि you will tell कि I just got the credentials. I don't know what that data is coming from. But Excel credentials भी अगर SQL server के आ रहे हैं, मतलब data origin is coming from SQL server only. So that can be also the case. How many people were there in your team? So if there was a project, so how many people were there to finish that project basically? 3 लोगों की team, 4 लोगों की team. Okay. How did you receive this project? From the manager or directly connected with the client? Okay, that can be two scenarios. एक तो manager तुम्हें बताएगा what is this project and they will tell you how to do it, or directly you have to connect with your client and you have to understand the overall requirement. Okay. Next question. How frequently did you connect with the team? मतलब जो भी team थी, how many times you used to connect together in a team and you understand how to answer these questions, या फिर how to do a particular task, और उस दिन के लिए क्या क्या किया है, like to just connect about it. You used to connect. How frequently you used to connect with remaining of your team? How was the work decided in the team? ठीक है, मतलब अगर there are 3 people in the team, तो तुम्हारा टास्क क्या होगा, सेकंड पर्सन का क्या, थर्ड पर्सन का क्या, हाउ वाज इट डिसाइडेड, एंड वो डिसाइडेड जो था तो तुम्हारा उसमें क्या टास्क था. ओके, बी माइंडफुल. ओके, आई हैव रिटन डाउन दिस क्वेश्चन जो मुझे पूछे गए हैं, द क्वेश्चन दैट इज बीन आस्क्ड टू मी. इफ देयर इज एनीथिंग मोर देन दिस पॉइंट्स, तो feel free to add those questions and have something written. If you are facing difficulty explaining your project, तो राइट इट डाउन एवरीथिंग, जस्ट राइट इट डाउन कि कैसे एग्जैक्टली तुम उसको आंसर करने वाले हो. ठीक है. हाउ मेनी डेज डिड इट टेक यू टू फिनिश द प्रोजेक्ट? कितना टाइम लगा है प्रोजेक्ट फिनिश करने के लिए? वेयर वर देयर एनी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स बिटवीन द टीम और विद द क्लाइंट्स? कुछ इशू हुआ था क्या? लाइक यू गाइज आर टेलिंग सेइंग समथिंग एल्स, क्लाइंट इज आस्किंग समथिंग एल्स एंड देयर इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन. So how did you resolve it after at the end? Any difficulties you faced during the project with the data set, with the requirement, etc.? How did you submit the project? How did you submit? मतलब at the end जब पूरा बन जाता है तो how did you send it to the client at the end? How did you receive the feedback and how did you perform the data validation? So these are the only couple of many questions that I have seen, that I have remembered, and I wrote it down. If you know anything more than that, so feel free and make the list of it. You can put it for others as well in the group. But I believe if you are planning to go for interviews, these are the questions that is going to ask to you. This is the flow that you are supposed to get prepared with. And my recommendation is start writing it down. एक तो WhatsApp पे लिखो, notepad पे लिखो, pen paper से लिखो, whichever suits you. But have it all written so that you will know what are your flaws. Okay, you are supposed to know everything that you are talking about. अभी I recently asked this question to Priyanshu actually, a couple, like एक बार Priyanshu के साथ I was connecting and I asked this question कि when you are creating a overall plot, ठीक है, I'm going to say one sentence. Okay, I'm going to give you one sentence here कि तुम जब एक plot बना रहे हो, when you are building a plot for your whole project, so you have to have a very well common sense. ठीक है, you need to have a good basics of your Power BI report. You need to have the basics of all Power BI, and then only you will able to create the complete. Then only you will then only you will get it कि how to answer this question. Then only you will understand कि even the employer will understand कि how you are properly working, like actually you have worked on it or not. So my sentence for it is कि मैंने ऐसे बोला client को कि my data set came from SQL Server, okay, by using direct query connection, and then I did some Power Query editing in my Power BI report, and after that I worked on my data modeling. So what part of this whole sentence will give you away? What is wrong in the whole sentence? Like, except Priyanshu, who would like to take the guess? Okay. So my sentence was that I got the dataset from SQL Server using direct query storage mode. After that, in Power BI report, I worked on Power Query Editor. I made some changes, and then I worked on a data model. So what was the wrong part? What is the wrong part in between in the whole sentence here? Okay, anybody? Correct, Vijay. Changes in Power Query. So when you are talking something about direct query mode with the SQL Server, there is no Power Query editor in Power BI desktop after that. There is no table view at all. Okay. So that's why I said you need to have a common sense even when you are building your whole project story. Okay. You need to have all the, like, you need to have like 1, 2, 3 eyes putting on the whole script कि exactly सही से सारी चीजें जुड़ रही है क्या? What you are saying, what they are telling you, are you doing it properly or not? Okay. So I was just giving you the idea कि there are some situation that might happen and you don't know, तुमने तो बना दिया, तुमने तो काम कर लिया, but that is not supposed to happen. Okay. So if your interviewer is good with all of your work, if with all of the technicalities, then that person will understand कि हाँ ये बंदा मन से बना के बता रहा है. ठीक है. So
Rushika, may I add a couple more questions that I ask and people are not able to answer as a hiring manager?
yes, sure.
So one question that typically 90% of the people are not able to answer when they talk about their project is, what was the size of your project? So I'm not going to give the answer here. I'm just going to let you think about it, how to give this answer. I'm talking to the audience right now. You must think about how to give the answer to the question, what is the size of your project? Another thing they are not able to explain is, because any project you create, it is all about the insights. How did you deliver the insights? What insights did you find, and how did you deliver it to the audience? To especially an audience of non-technical people. So majority of the people are not able to explain the benefits. When they are talking, they speak geek language of Power BI, like the one you gave. They're not able to tell me what was the impact of the project, or what were the perceived benefits of the project. That is very important. And I think the third one is just the challenges which Rashika already talked about. The challenges while doing the project, they are unable to describe. They say, okay, सबसे easy answer उनका ये होता है कि, okay, I was a part of the project where one person got sick, so I did his job also, or his or her job also. There's the basic thing they give, but 90% of the people give the same response again and again without having any changes to the response. So there are various ways to answer those questions. And for those of you who are new, if you set some time with Rashika, be her top mate or whatever, then, or if you're a part of, the best is to be a part of a class where these kind of questions are discussed again and again, so that you are very well prepared, not just for learning Power BI. You don't find all these questions in typical YouTube, or even if you find it in one of the YouTubes, you are not able to have conviction. But if you're a part of our classes, I have noticed that you become really strong in answering those questions. And one of these days, I'm going to get Sanjay as well if he's not able to join now. Because if I ask him, regardless of what time you catch him, in the morning, evening, night, midnight, if you wake him up at 2 a.m. in the morning and ask him to give his presentation in 5 minutes, he'll give it in 5 minutes. If you tell him speak 10 minutes about it, he'll speak for 10 minutes. And Rashika and I have had a lot of fun during her classes. We invite different guests. For example, Sanjay could be a guest, or he can act as a judge, and he goes on, and I tell him, Sanjay, you have only 5 minutes. So he'll say, and we start the timer. He finishes his description in 5 minutes. If we ask him show it in 10 minutes, he'll speak 10 minutes on it. If you tell him that you have only 3 minutes, he will finish it all in 3 minutes. So these kind of things, when you do it as a part of Rishika's classes, her demos, her students are able to do that very well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, at the end, tell me about your project is all about explaining your project. So the more natural you are, the more confident you are when you are explaining it, the better like you are going to justify your projects to the client, okay, to the interviewer basically. Okay, even if you have no practical experience with any past working experience, suppose, but in still in that case as well, if you have like whatever the other projects you have built, okay, you can make it in a such a way that it is going to be your actual corporate project while you are explaining. Okay, so tell me about your project. It's very important. People gets rejected just because they are not able to answer this question properly. Okay. So if you don't know how to answer it, write it down. You can send it to me. You can send your screenshot, photo, or email answers to those questions. And but do please
Rishika, today I
prepare
don't
well
know
on
if
the time.
today probably we do not have much time because you have a certain agenda in mind today. We
Right.
were hoping to have initially, I think the last session you gave was how to build a project from end to end. That is a wonderful session. So anybody who has not seen the recording of Rashika's session where she did a challenge from start to end, Lakshmi or Prem Sai can reload it. You can request them for it, and it'll be reloaded in the pro bono group only. If you are not a part of the pro bono group, please join the pro bono group where all the recordings of the sessions are kept. And if you are in that session, I expect you to attend all these sessions live. Um, the other thing I was going to say is, since due to the lack of time, I'm not doing this, but usually I would have said, I like throwing surprises which nobody knows about. For example, I would have said, hey, let's catch up any one of the students. For example, let's catch Nirmala Sundaram, the Oscar winner, and who's still here. I would have said, Nirmala, can you take 2 or 3 minutes and pick up any one project you have done? Um, she's in the finance arena, so she may have done a good project. If I say, Nirmala, just introduce that project in 3 minutes, um, we would see how she goes about talking about a hypothetical or a generic project and describe it. If we have time towards the end, we can still do that. We can have maybe Nirmala to talk about her project in three or 4 minutes. Nirmala, is it okay with you if I add that? Nirmala, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here, Arun. I do have to step out. I'm actually not at home, so we'll do it some other time, though. I would be more than happy to do it.
Sure. Yeah. That'll be a great thing where you come up and as if your interview was happening and only this question is asked in the interview. How would you do that in your Oscar winning style? Thank you.
Great. All right. So that's definitely a good activity, but probably for the next time and probably as a separate, a complete workshop as well, Arun, that we can plan. So that was all about. Tell me about your project. We had to discuss. We have discussed like what all the things that you supposed to know about your project and how you are supposed to answer it as well. be natural, be confident. If you don't know certain part of it, just say don't know. But if you staggered, if you don't know how to respond to certain thing, just say it out loud. But don't keep that thing hanging. Okay, because your confidence makes the difference. So if you don't know something about your project during the session, you can tell them right away that this is not shared with me, or that is not a part where I have learned, or that I worked during that project, something like that. Okay, always tackle the
May I?
question. Yes.
I'm a very shy person. May I ask one question?
Yes, please.
So whenever there's an interview, मेरे पेट में ना उससे पहले butterflies आते रहते हैं. I'm having butterflies in my stomach and I'm wondering कि oh my god, oh my god, tomorrow I have an interview. And the moment the interview starts, I get little bit nervous. So how do I, or I'm worried कि how will my English be understood, whether I'm able to understand and speak good in a good language or not. Um, how do I get rid of this butterflies in my stomach? Did you also have this problem, when you initially think about like when you are like absolute fresher out of your college?
Yeah,
Did you
definitely,
also
Arun.
have butterflies in the
Yes,
stomach?
yes.
And how did you, how should I get rid of that butterflies in my stomach?
So give more interviews. Like for the if you don't have interviews, plan the mock interviews with someone. So that is the only solution. The more interviews you give, the more fluent you will going to be. We get butterflies when we will have one or two first interviews. अगर हम दे ही इंटरव्यू दो दो तीन तीन महीने में एक बार रहे तो obviously टेंशन आएगा. But if you are having some
Got you.
projects, if you have some interviews going on, even if you don't have interviews going on, but अलग अलग लोगों को पकड़ो, ask them to take a mock interview, suppose for yourself or other different subjects, and that is going
Got
to
you.
help you get better,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a great idea. So maybe I can practice one time with Rushika, one with Nirmala, one with Sanjay, one with other senior mentors. We have Prem Sai, we have many mentors available with whom we can practice. So that's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Um, all right. All right. So the last topic for the today's session is about portfolio management. So once you are good, once you are building your projects, Ganesh, I can see your hands raised, but let me take this question at the end. Let's finish up with this last topic, and we will have the Q&A after that. All right. If there is anything urgent, you can put that in a chat box as well. Okay. So about portfolio management. So portfolio can be of anything, every software, any language, any tool that you work, that you know, or that you have worked for any project, suppose, everything you can put it on your portfolio. So there is a Power BI desktop, ClickView, ClickSense, Google Data Studio, whatever you have worked on basically. So what are the different ways through which you can showcase your work, how you can justify that you have worked on certain things, right? So those portfolio management of those portfolio, it can work like, or you can use, or you can create it through the platforms like GitHub, Google Drive, Novi Pro, LinkedIn. Honestly speaking, I had no idea about GitHub till the last year of time, last couple of years back. Basically, my portfolio was built on Google Drive. So it was portfolio containing the different folders with the name of SQL, Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense, something like that. Inside it, it used to be the images or data sets or anything. Okay. So that's how my Google Drive used to be. Okay. But after a certain time, there is a Novi Pro that came into the picture. On Novi Pro, you can share your projects related to Power BI, related to Excel, and even with respect to Tableau as well. That's what I have seen in the recent times. So Novi Pro can also be one of the platforms you can create your portfolio. Finally, LinkedIn. It is something like, it is like standalone system actually, where you can share all of your posts, projects, your learnings, your workings, everything. But it should supposed to be professional, of course. You are not supposed to put your picture and say, "Okay, I'm feeling happy today, and because I created a project." You are supposed to put your project's image to tell to say that you are doing good. Suppose, right? Like this is what you have built and all. And LinkedIn is that's what I was saying, that LinkedIn is like one for all, where you can put your papers, articles, posts, projects, everything. Okay. And it is going to actually reach to the appropriate audience if you are putting something which is related to your work, or the uh, or the industry where you want to go next, suppose. Okay. So these are the three platforms where you can work. Google Drive, I will not recommend anymore because there are better options. LinkedIn पे always have your visibility on LinkedIn. कुछ ना कुछ डालते रहना चाहिए. That's my own preference. LinkedIn is like whatever I am today, it is all because of LinkedIn. That's what I can say. Okay. NoviPro, if you don't know how to work with GitHub, so NoviPro is the next best and next easiest option for you. So NoviPro is also one of those. But if you are okay, if you know, like if you want to have something at one place, so GitHub is my first recommended option to you. So we are going to see how to take all of our reports, how to create our GitHub. Okay, and I'm going to do the demo of it right now. In the beginning of our session, I said ki create a folder where you are putting all of your projects or anything. At least create a folder where you have put something of your projects or something that you want to showcase at one place. Okay. So if you have it, then we are going to use that particular folder here. Okay. So let's do the demo. We are going to do the demo of GitHub. So let me show you my page. All right. I hope it's visible still. And yes. So this is my GitHub account. You just have to create, if I go to incognito mode, you go to GitHub. Okay. You will see this first option only. You can just create, you can have the GitHub desktop, you can create account. Okay. You can sign up for it with your email address. It is a simple Gmail account address with which you can open your account. I'm going to copy paste this particular link here. Okay. And from here you can sign up. Once you are signed up, then you can have sign in, and this is how it is going to be your first page. Okay. I recently made some changes on my GitHub page. So this is a readme file through which you will able to see like what languages, tools that I know or that I work with. Okay. So this is like explanation, welcome to my portfolio, what are the things that I'm doing, what are the business unit, what do I do, everything. Okay. And there is this one project, this is one GitHub account that I officially use for as my portfolio for everyone. So here you can see there are like 3 softwares, Google Data Studio. If you open this, you will see the data set, you will see the image, how the project was. Okay, this was my report for the same. It was, I guess, a database. Something is a database and something, one of it is your data, your image, final one. Okay. Then there is something about Power BI. You will see all of the challenges that I have worked on so far, like data DNA, eDNA, FP20, MOM, Onyx Data, Tanzania, World Happiness. So you will find all of the projects that I have built for those particular, for those particular data sets that came. Okay, this was one of the project. After Power BI, there is also about ClickView. So everything that the healthcare one that I showed you, so you will find it here as well. Okay. So these are the images. So somebody was asking me ki wo images share karna. So you can see those images from here. So every page 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever the page you see, you can like just try to replicate it and try to build something in the same manner. Okay, so MOM ke projects hai, there is a telecommunication project. So there are like lots of different data set and all. All right. So what I'm going to show you today is how you can create something like this with GitHub. Okay. For the same, as I ask you to keep something at one place. Okay. So this is the one folder I have built, P2P session dashboard folio management. In this, you will see design, how to start project, Power BI design, ClickView design. So there are variety of stuff. Okay. It is not something as a one thing. They're like all the different types of things I have gathered together in a one folder, P2P session portfolio management. Okay. So this folder I'm going to keep, I have created after building my all projects. And now I'm going to build my portfolio. So the very first thing that we are going to need is a repository. So repository is kind of like a folder. You create a new folder in your Power BI desktop. Sorry, in your simple laptop, a local folder. So the same way you can create a new repository. So let me write down new repository. You have to give the name of your folder. That's the repository name. It's supposed to be unique. Let's name as, this is demo March. Okay. That's the name. If you want to give anything, any description, that is the optional part, you can give it. If you want this particular repository to be public, मतलब मैंने अगर ये repository आपसे share करी, if I share it to the audience, so it is going to be available. If I say it private, so nobody will be able to see it. So keep it public. I don't want to give any description. There is no readme file as of now. There is nothing, and I'm going to create the repository. After clicking on that, you will see there is nothing on the screen. Okay, there is a simple couple of options like what you can do, what you not. Okay. Next thing that I want to do, I want to add the complete folder that I have built here to my Power BI, to my GitHub account. Okay. So for that, I'm going to, like there are the quick setup options here at the top only. So I'm going to ask it to upload the existing files. Okay. So once you click on that, you are going to see this whole section where they are going to ask you either select a file or you can just drag and drop it here. So I'm going to choose my file, which is going to be at this place. Okay, so this is going to be here. So once I open, it is going to take it this way. I don't want it to open, so I'm going to drag and drop. Okay. So once I dragged and drop, it has started uploading all of my projects. So there are 68 number of files, 9 has uploaded, and all of my projects so far that I have built, they are getting on GitHub. So once it is halfway, I understand I'm doing it a bit fast, but if you are planning to work on it, feel free to go through the video because this is a complete recorded session. I hope you will see what I have done, even if you have not got the time to work through it right now. So 43, 45, remaining 68 files. So it can have any type of a data set. Okay, it is like it can have any type of a data file, Excel, CSV, PNG, PDF, etc. Okay, so JSON file is also one of there. And once it is all here, you just have to give the commit, added new data set, a commit option. Like this is some small description about what I'm committing right now. Commit the changes. It's processing the file. And once it's done, it will be available on my repository. So next time, all I have to do is I have to just share GitHub Rushika Kale demo March. Okay. So it is available. This is the file. I'm putting it in the chat. Okay. And this is going to be my portfolio for others to display. Okay. All I have to do is just copy paste this particular link till Rushika Kale and the name of my repository. Once I have given it, you will see how what all the things that I have done in my repo. Okay. Next time you do something new, you can again go to the same add file, upload the file, and you can add the new data set. You can add the new folder or image or any file as it is. Okay. So this is the process of creating a complete portfolio page. There are multiple ways as well. People have created their own websites. They have built their own websites basically. Then there are the portfolio pages, a simple Power BI report as well. So it is completely all right if you are creating any of the other platforms. But if you know for yourself कि अभी तक मैं वहां तक नहीं पहुंचा हूँ, I cannot create that many of things. So having a portfolio like this, it is also all right. Okay. In the past, I have built something in my Power BI report. That is my portfolio that I have built in a complete Power BI report. I built it in around, I guess, 2021 last time when I remember. So this is the only page. Okay, if they want to see my resume, they just have to click on here. They will see my latest resume, some of my like explanation about me, information about me. If you want to go to the home, that's the home. If you want to go to the experience, so I will go to the experience page. These are all the experiences I have, the companies, and what was my task, what was my description, suppose. Skills and certificates. So you will see all the skills and certificate here. Okay, database management, software packages, ETL tools. Okay, you select the option skill set and you will see the certificate as well as what is my rating for the so these are all the domains: food and beverages, healthcare, retail industry, etc. and you will see all the information about my projects here at the top down. And if you want to see all of those dashboard projects live, so you can just have to click at this place. And finally, education. So I tried to do, it was my 1 day task actually. Like that time I was so into Power BI. So I wanted to build something which is going to put me out of the crowd. Okay, everybody was planning to give the interviews, everybody was giving the interviews but what is something that different in me than from others? So that's why I built that project in Power BI. Okay, so that is also a type of a portfolio that I shared with others because it helps them to understand all of my projects and works as well. Okay, that is also one of the options. And yes, as I said, for you guys, if you want, create your own Power BI report, create your own website. If you don't know how to do that, then you can also stick with the GitHub. And yeah, I think that is it. There are some general suggestions how to start, how to end with the Power BI report. And yes, that is all from my end for today. I'm available for the Q&A. And thank you so much for being the amazing audience, for asking the questions, as well as uh, giving your time for today's session. Okay.
Rashika, how's Pune today? How's the weather in Pune?
It was like there was it was sunny in the afternoon. I'm not sure how is it right now. I will go out in evening.
All right. Make sure you have a lot of fun in Pune. Don't just keep on studying and working and answering questions. But I have only two questions, and I'm very selfish. That's why I'm asking this question, because a lot of people have reached out to me saying, when will Rashka's next, like, we know that Salman Khan comes out with his every year he comes out with a great one of the good movies, and some people have wait and watch for it, So when is Rashka's? I know you just finished with a Power BI batch, which is very successful. When is the next one coming out? Please tell me something soon, so that I can answer people who are asking me a lot of questions. They're setting up meetings and asking me questions. And they're asking Prem Sai, they're writing in groups, they are talking to Lakshmi. Any
Right.
idea?
So I'm planning to start the next session at end of March or the first week of April. Before that,
Yay! Wait, let me get excited. Yay! Okay. Okay.
right.
Thank you for doing that. Um, uh, yeah, thank you.
Right.
Rishka, can you like there are a lot of you used to, in the first two batches, the first three batches, there was some stuff, but in the fourth batch, a lot of new things were brought in, and I think you're going to bring new things as a Power BI itself is getting updated. You have some AI into that. You have some new features that have come in. So when you teach, do you incorporate the newer features of Power BI as well?
Yes. So anything that is coming in Power BI desktop with the new updates every month, so I always like incorporate all of those stuff which are coming new. Okay. So I teach all of those stuff as well.
If you don't mind me asking, okay, is it? I don't know if you're ready today or not, but we can do this next time also. But if you have a generic idea of the syllabus you go through, is it
Um,
possible to kind of, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. I just want to see, do you have like a brochure kind of stuff where you have things outlined on how do you go about, uh,
right.
because some batches I think you took 3 days a week, but then some people had a lot of requests came to you that take a week because they are working or they are studying, and they are only able to do it on the weekends. I think you did in a couple different formats.
Right. So it's always something new as per the audience, what they need. So if there are more people who wants it on a daily basis in the morning, so I have taken some batches in the morning time. Sometimes it
Oh my
required in the
God.
evening, and sometimes it required as well for the weekends. So it's depend on majority of audience who are coming for the job, for the session, and accordingly I plan it every time.
Do you have a typical I'm not sure, like I said, if you're not prepared, that's okay, we can do it next time. But do you have a sample of what kind of things you go through in a typical like if I want to see a brochure of what kind of typical things you go through in a batch?
Arun sir,
I will.
Sanjay has joined us.
Say again?
Sanjay has joined us.
Oh yeah, I'll yeah, okay. Yeah, Rashika, sorry.
Yeah, so I have not updated many things, the new things that I'm going to do, but I have the last one's brochure, so I will add it in the chat box here.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. Yeah. And whenever you're ready with, I know you keep doing refinements to the syllabus. So whenever the new we are, please understand that I got so excited only for one reason, because for me, COE is number one. My people, every student for me is important. Every whether they are doing we, as you can see that we have launched the portfolio group where we are literally asking people to upload their portfolios. So there are some people who have already done their portfolios, and there are a lot of people who are beginning to do their portfolios. Some of them are very shy, saying that uh, I don't know how to do it. So I'd ask, can you please place your current link? And many of the people did not place the link. So I'm going to be after their lives to regardless of even if they've copied a COVID, I'm saying just upload it. So I want everybody to get in the habit of uploading something, even if it's the worst thing on earth, because my first speech or my first session was more horrible than anybody else out there, because I'm the world's freshest fresher. So I'm asking, please upload it so that we can talk through your difficulties, talk through what you need, talk through the skill gaps you have, and all those kind of things, and prepare them well. So I'm reminding through your session, I'm reminding them once again. Guys, I want to do two things towards the end. Rashika has completed a session, so I would like to take just couple, not a lot of questions, because I would like you to think through your questions, and um, in the group of in the Power BI group, please type all your questions for Rashika, because we'll invite her probably one more time, especially to handle and resolve those questions, because we may not have all the time today to answer every single question that you may have in mind. So please send those questions to Prem Sai or Lakshmi, or you can put it in the Power BI group, so that through the Power BI Accelerate group, she can help answer all those questions when she gets a little bit more time. As you know, that Rashika has, even though Rashika had to travel from Nagpur to Pune for her official work, she has taken the time for us, for you guys, uh, in spite of her heavy travel schedule and busy weekend stuff. Um, so instead of Rashika, what I'll do is, instead of taking these questions, I've invited Sanjay for a very special thing here. Um, I want to go back to this one because on Monday there are some people who are facing some interviews, and the reason I invited Sanjay was I wanted to have him demo. When I asked Nirmala, I mean, she was out. Um, she may be outside the house. She may not have been able to describe the project. I would like Sanjay. Uh, uh, I was Sanjay. Are you there?
Yes, Arun, I'm here.
Sanjay, I was telling people Rashika did a wonderful session on some basics of Power BI. We had a whole agenda, and she has completed her thing. And I was joking with people. Rather, I was serious. And I was joking with people that you can call Sanjay. You can wake him up at 2 a.m. in the night or 3 a.m. in the morning or at any odd hour, and call him suddenly he may not, don't tell him any background, and ask Sanjay, can you describe one of your projects, and give him, whether you want to give him 3 minutes to speak or 10 minutes to speak or 15 minutes to speak. He can adjust the timing based upon the demand or the request of the hiring manager or the audience who's asking that question. So having said that, I thought, why don't I put my why don't I put my words to test, because some of us may not believe my words. The other question, Sanjay, so I would like you to demo any one of your project, right? I mean, you have done many of them. You can demo as if you were a person who had to give his interview Monday morning, because we have couple people like that who are set up for the interviews. So and while doing that, the only other question I have is, how do you, because Rashika gave us a wonderful list of questions that are asked typically when you're doing your like when you're describing your project. Tell me something about your project. What are the typical things, because you have been a judge as well of competitions? What kind of things uh, are important from your perspective? If you were hiring for XYZ company, what are the things that a person should keep in mind while answering the question? Tell me something about your project, or tell me something about a recent project you have done. Um, Guys, all the people in the audience, do you think Sanjay should do this, or you want to do it in another session, or should we do it now? I want to see responses really quick. So only if you type, I'll have Sanjay do this. Otherwise, I can let him go. Anybody that wants Sanjay to do this now?
Good evening, everyone. Can I speak for 1 minute, Arun?
Yeah, sure. In the meantime, other people, I want to hear yeses. If I don't see a yes, we will skip it.
Hi,
Yes, please,
Sanjay.
please go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Arun. Hi, Sanjay. How are you?
Please go ahead with your question.
Hi,
Uh,
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing good. Sanjay, in the last session, you covered how you built all those reports and all those things. I have just one question. If we would like to see your or Rashika's portfolio, what you have built, so that we can try to make a replica of that or something like that, where can we see that?
Oh my God, he has described it in so many sessions. So if you reach out to, there's only one person that can answer this question, and that person is Prem Sai. So whenever you want to reach out to see any past recordings or how he does it, he can show it. But right now we are doing this live. And Rishika, I know that you are in a great. First of all, I want to thank you a lot, a tons, in spite of your really difficult schedule, really difficult time, and you have not been able to take a breather after finishing your batches, and you've still showed up today. Showing up is a very important thing to me for the right time, because for the COE, I mean, you can show up for 10 other classes and it doesn't matter to me, but it matters a lot to me if somebody places COE as their first priority number one. Okay. So thank you for doing this, Rashika, from the bottom of my heart. Um, if you
Always.
have to, if you absolutely have to leave, please feel free. I'm not holding your feet to fire.
Yes,
Because
please.
we are just spending 10 minutes with Sanjay as a part B, so that we can put Sanjay to test, right?
Sure, sure, sir. Sure.
As of
I have
assuming
just
that
added
he's a, yeah.
I have just added the today's slides on the in the chat box. So if anyone wants to use it, so please feel free to do that. I actually have to leave right now. I have a couple of things to buy for
Yeah, yeah,
setting up the
I
home.
could understand that.
So,
Yeah, I guess that. I guess that. Thank you so much.
so
Thank you so much.
yeah,
So
thank you
we'll
everyone for
spend,
joining us.
yeah, as we are assuming that Sanjay is also one of the freshers, and we are going to utilize some of his time, because he seems to have 10-15 minutes. We're going to utilize this time to answer other questions if whatever people might have. But thank you, Rishika.
Uh,
All right, Sanjay, you are on spot. All the uh, there are 3 or 4 hiring managers in a panel, and they have asked the question, can you describe a typical project that you have done?
Arun, in fact, like the project which I'm going to showcase is a project which I have done as part of one of the interviews. The only thing is the data set is public, so
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
understand
If
that.
I show,
I understand that.
yeah, it's not
Yeah, you
confidential
cannot.
data. Obviously, for interviews,
Exactly.
they'll do dummy data set only, and it was
Correct.
easily available on Google as well. So
Sanjay,
this
one
is,
more.
huh?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. So sorry to interrupt. Sanjay, one more thing. What is happening is, our people are going for these, and maybe this can be covered later on. Um,
Okay.
our people are going for interviews, and what they're realizing is, before the actual interview they have a test. So for example, they go to they initially the HR manager will the somebody in recruiting will talk to them, and they'll say, okay, thank you, we liked your candidature, and the next tomorrow at 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. or whatever time, we have this small test, and they will send a PBX file, right? They'll,
Yeah.
they'll they'll send a file to them, and they'll ask them to do something. They'll want them to show measures or something, get do this or do that, and people are not expecting that,
Yeah.
and they suddenly get confused. Oh my god, why was I given a test? And after the test, then of course there's a formal interview which freezes the deal. That's how they get the offer. So I
Yeah.
will come to that question a little bit later, but I'm letting you know what are difficulties people are facing when they are suddenly when they suddenly get a letter saying, hey, we loved your resume and we want to have an interview. So let's talk about the project part first, and then we'll come to other questions if the audience may have. And shame to those who have left already, because you never know what kind of surprise we have in store, just like this one.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So just to give a little bit background, this data set is a public data set which can be easily found with 1-2 clicks on Google. So this is whatever I'm about to show is the project which got me my first opportunity in analytics. So
Wow.
that's why the project will always remain special. And I also posted this publicly on LinkedIn because it's public data and there is nothing confidential about it. And also this is something which is generic in nature, like in terms of concepts and all, there is nothing specific about it. So when I faced my first analytics, so this is not the Hitachi or anything related one. This is even before something which I made during my internship. So the project which they have given me at that point of time was they have just given one data set, and in the email itself they said it's a public data set and you can visualize it and you can showcase as many skills as possible. They didn't pinpoint or specifically ask any questions. And at that point of time, I felt that I should really build a comprehensive one so that not because, not because I can build a comprehensive one, but just to show that I have all these skills. So one of the main reasons for building any project is it's not to see whether you have the domain knowledge or not. It's more to see how many types of concepts and visualizations, calculations, data modeling, how complex you can do. So that's the whole point. So of course, obviously, I have removed some of the details like the cover page and all I have removed, which was originally there. And this project which you see here, this is already available in my portfolio website, and I posted this 3 years back on LinkedIn. So the idea of this project is I wanted to showcase. So remember that time is very important because today we are in 2024. So back in 2021, there were very limited resources with Power BI. And when I was asked to build this project, even the features and everything were very limited. So with that limited knowledge, I actually built this. Now, if I have to simulate it, like how I presented it, so here it goes. Hello everyone, I am Sanjay Chandra. So last time a data set was shared with me over the email to build a project and present it to you in the second round. So I have built this Power BI project using the data set which was provided to me, and I have downloaded the flat file and I have imported it using Power BI desktop. And then I have done some ETL transformation in Power Query. I have cleaned some part of the data and I tried to check for missing values, duplicates, and also some inconsistencies. I did not find any. It was a clean data set. And I have also checked the column data types as well. So all the column data types were also matching. And once I have completed the ETL part, directly I started the data modeling part. So for data modeling part, the first step is to have a calendar table. So if we do not have a calendar table, then we cannot write time intelligence functions. So one of the requests, one of the most important concepts of Power BI is time intelligence functions like rolling totals, white year to date, month to date, quarter to date, uh, year on year comparison, month on month, quarter on quarter, and closing of last year, opening of this year. So all these are very important concepts. So if we want to showcase all those things, then obviously we need to have a calendar table. So I have created a calendar table, and in the calendar table also, I have given both option of calendar year as well as fiscal year. So calendar year is from January to December, and fiscal year, because we are in India, it starts from April and it ends in March. So I have built both functionalities. In this particular report, what you see will be it will be the calendar year. In places also used fiscal year. Now, the first page mainly talks about the overview. So here I tried to use different kind of visualizations like revenue, target. Similarly, I have done the cumulative thing, which is related to time intelligence. And I have also added some KPI cards, which are there on the top. And I have also added some slicers for the selection. And apart from that, I have also made sure that I also added a custom tooltip. So custom, generally when we have a tooltip here, it is a regular tooltip which we have, but custom tooltip is where we will have a visual inside another visualization. So the custom tooltips help us to have even more comprehensive breakdown view of the data which we want to see. Now, when it comes to the visualization part, I have used a separate color palette. I have prepared my own color palette after experimenting with few of the colors. So that there is a uniformity and consistency which is there. So initially by default, we get one color palette in Power BI. So I have went to the theme and I have modified the entire theme with the color palette which I wanted. And that's why the colors look different. And coming to the second page, so this is where I had to work a lot because this page has multiple things. One, it shows the visualizations with what if analysis. Like for example, in this particular data set, I have taken average revenue per unit. So generally ARPU is a metric which is used in telecom industry. And it is more popular in telecom industry where they try to see what is the average revenue per user. So taking some inspiration from that concept, I have built that ARPU. And in ARPU, what I did was I tried to find the correlation between the profit margin and ARPU. Like for example, if my revenue increases by 1%, what is the impact of it on the profit margin? And here I have included a slider where if I just change, let's say if my ARPU increases by 1%. So if I type 1% here, sorry. So if I type 1% here, if my ARP increases by 1%, there is a 6% effect on the profit margin. So there is an operating leverage which is in play here. So the more ARPU, the more profits which can come because of this. And another thing which I did was I did a comparison of cumulative profit and adjusted profit. So if the average revenue per unit is constant, how much will be the profit? If we make an adjustment, how much will be the new profit? So the green line which you see is the adjusted one. The blue line is the original one. So that is one thing which I have done. And another thing which I have done is this is a drill through. Like for example, if I want to see for Montana, I can right click, drill through, and I can go to this page and it will show all the statistics related to Montana. So again, I can go back and again I can drill through. So that is another functionality which I have given. Next, coming to the time intelligence functions, I have focused on QTD in this page, where mostly talks about the quarter to date. So quarter to date, whether it's fiscal year or financial year, it remains the same because it will not change. So the quarter start January will always starting of a March will be the ending. Similarly, April to June, July to September, and October to December. So and here I have used the KPI cards where I have set a goal and the goal has to be met. So that is what I have done here. And when you talk about the visualization part, I have used the conditional formatting. So whenever the goal is met, you can see it turned into green color, and whenever the goal is not met, it is showing red color. So I have used the conditional formatting using a measure to display this. And apart from that, I have also created a 100% stacked column chart to show the percentages. And here I have used the pie chart, and here I have used a simple column chart where it will show the QTD values. And of course, here I have used the YTD values. Of course, here I have taken the fiscal year. So as you can see, the value starts from April and it keeps on going till March. Just so here you can see by default Power BI gives us the calendar year from January to December. But in this case, I have taken the starting of the fiscal year as April and it ends in March. So that's why you can see that as soon as the March is over, the data is resetting in April. And here what I have done is I have taken the rolling averages. So 6 months rolling average and 12 months rolling average. Because generally when we talk about finance function, rolling averages, rolling totals, time intelligence functions are very important. So to showcase that, here I have given 3 measures. What is the actual revenue, 12 months rolling average and 6 months rolling average. And of course on the top, all the KPI cards which you see are once again talking about YTD, year to date values. And finally, this is the last page where I talked about the time lag. Like for example, I have some sales this month and I want to compare it with the previous month. So let's say I have sales in February. I want to compare my February sales with January sales. So basically I'm talking about month on month sales. But there are situations where I want to compare my current year February sales to last year February sales. So for that, I have introduced a slicer, which is like time lag slicer. For example, if I select 12, it will try to compare year on year. So it will compare, if I hover here, it will show September 2014 and September 2013. And similarly, if I actually show 6 months, here you can see it shows a half year comparison. 3 months, here it shows previous quarter. The title
Sanjay?
which you see on top is a dynamic title. Hello?
Yeah, Sanjay, just by doing this exercise at a notice of less than 5 minutes, I think you've done a wonderful job. We got to so guys, if you're observing this as an audience, you can see how Sanjay has quickly described his project, which he did like years back. It was like on a particular assignment, right? The data set was given to him, and he was asked to show something. He did that, and he demonstrated, and he's given how he has shown how he has utilized different functions, and he talked about what you can. He's basically demonstrated his range of skills using this small exercise. And if I ask him all those typical questions like the insights and stuff, he'll be able to answer it. I would like, for the purpose of time, because we have on the meeting, let me ask him one more question. This time, I'm not putting Sanjay in the role of a fresh candidate like you guys. I'm putting him now in the role of an interviewer. Let's say Sanjay was an interviewer. Uh, is there anybody in the group today who has a project? Any project, could be anything. Uh, do you have any project? Because if you are able to have a sample project, whichever you want to display on the screen, uh, then you can just show the project and he will act as an interviewer, and he can ask the typical questions that are asked during an interview. Any brave person in the group? Don't worry, we'll be helping you. It's not a it's not a formal interview, so don't be afraid. Oh my God, he's asking me for displaying my project in front of 20 people, 30 people. Anyone? Just say a yes or no. If all of you, if all of you, if nobody has a guts, please say, do a demo. We do a demo instead of doing your project. We'll do a demo project. Anybody with guts here in the group who knows Power BI, who has done some Power BI, even if you're a fresher, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't have the world's best project, it does not matter. The idea is to show you how a typical interviewer, Sanjay will act like a typical interviewer and show to you what kind of questions are asked. You don't have to answer all the questions. He will just tell you what kind of questions are asked. Rashika gave you typical questions that are asked about a project, but Sanjay will, without having seen what Rashika had to say, Sanjay will offer his perspective, which could be, there could be some different points as well. So I give you, yeah, I'll give you half a second to tell me who is ready with a project. Anybody?
And Arun, and also there is one detail which I missed. It's a small one, but very, very
Yeah, sure.
important one.
Yes,
So
please
when,
go ahead.
yes. See, whenever you present any project, please don't directly open the PBX file and show it to someone, because from a business perspective, I mean, you can show it to a tech guy. Like, let's say if someone from IT background is interviewing you, that is fine, that is okay. But if you are actually going to the next round, let's say someone from the business side who is going to interview you, you should always present your project in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. Like, for example, let's say I have described my project, right? So when I actually presented my project, there was a cover page in my Power BI report, and also I built a PowerPoint presentation where I included all the steps. Like, for example, so this is step one, this is step two, sorry, this is step one, this is step two, this is step three, this is step four. So generally you have 5 steps, right? Data source, data cleaning, data modeling, like that. And you can just put something like this, like arrows. I'll not take more than a minute. So you can put arrows like this, and you can write in detail. Like when you participate in the competitions also, this is what people expect. So when you have to present your solution in front of judges, so you have to present what steps you have done. Simply opening a Power BI file, it's fine, it's okay. Technically, it's okay. But presentation also matters. So here, this is data cleaning part. Okay, this shows the overview. So first you will give the context of the project on the top, put the heading, write some matter there. And then here you'll write the process which you followed. Then you'll create a new slide. And in that slide, each step you'll explain. Okay, fine. As part of data cleaning, what did you do? Okay. As part of data cleaning, one thing I did was I checked for missing values. Second one, I checked for null values. Third one, I checked for data inconsistencies. Next thing I did was data transformation, like pivoting. So all those concepts and all, you have to highlight them. So if you want to present any Power BI project in a very professional setting, especially to a business user, so this is how you have to do. So there are how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first slide will contain your summary, and then second slide, third slide, fourth slide, each slide should talk in detail about each step of the process. And finally, you have to talk about the conclusion. I'm not saying that you have to do it for every product in your portfolio, but if you are going to present any product to someone in the interview, like if they give you a data set and ask you to present, if you do it in this way, definitely people will be impressed, because most of the business people spend a lot of time building presentations, because once you reach certain level, you will not be doing coding and all. You have to build a lot of models in Excel, and you should also present them in the form of PowerPoint. So definitely, if you are interviewing with any senior people, definitely they'll appreciate this one.
Thank you, Sajid. This was wonderful. This is a very important point that you bring up. Is Lakshmi still around? Lakshmi, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
So let's, because some people might be absolute freshers, or might be shy, or for whatever reasons they might want to keep quiet, I will put you under a tight spot which you wouldn't have expected at all from me, right? So I believe that you have just completed a demo project, right, for a particular purpose. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So I would like you to show your project on the screen. I know that it had limited time of maybe only 1 day or half a day or whatever. Show that particular project that you did, and Sanjay will use that as a as a sample data that was given to you, to be able to tell the audience what kind of questions particularly the freshers or people with 1 year experience, can expect uh, in an interview. What kind of questions might be asked? Is it okay, Lakshmi?
Yeah. Yes, yes. I definitely want to take this opportunity. So I have an ask since I am not logged into my laptop. Is it okay if I share the PDF to Prem and is it okay to present?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. You can show the PDF as well to Prem, and uh, our wonderful Prem will do his magic to display it on the screen, and then Sanjay
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go ahead.
I'll share with
And
Prem.
so, guys, in this case, audience who's watching the recording later on or you're watching now, please understand that Sanjay has absolutely no preparation for what was going to come. He didn't even know that I was going to do this, and Lakshmi did not know this. So both the candidate and the interviewer in this case are operating out of a situation which has just emerged, right? And this is why, guys, I tell you that we have this portfolio group where we are discussing portfolios, and we intend to discuss a lot of other things. But start asking your questions. Please do not be mute if you are in any COE group, whether it is a library group or the Power BI group, Alteryx group, SQL group. If you ask questions, we'll be happy to make short seminars out of it. For example, Sanjay, if he's very, very busy, we can call him only for 15 minutes, and we can quickly give a demo of one thing. Instead of having a 1 hour seminar or 1.5 hour seminar, we can have short series as well. I will call it the YouTube short format, just for fun.
I have shared it with Prem.
Thank you. Prem? Prem Sai, if you're still here, please show it on the screen. Lakshmi, while he's displaying it on the screen, can you talk a little bit about what was the problem that you're trying to solve in that particular project? Just that much.
Yeah, I'll do. So for this data, for this dashboard, I have taken the data from Supplier Insights EDNA Challenge. I have taken the data set. It is a public data set. And we have tried to provide the insights for a supplier. And I didn't get, I couldn't explore much on this as I have to try my hands on different things like drill through and all. So I have
You
just
know,
created a simple
yeah.
dashboard.
Yeah, you know what the one of the fun things we used to do in Rashika's classes, when the students had completed all the 7 pillars, we used to go, and Sanjay acted as a judge on many. So we did a mock session of interviews where we invited judges. We invited Prem Sai. I was there. Sanjay used to be there. So we used to grill the candidates on the things. Our motive was to prepare the candidates for all the kind of questions that might be asked. So we had a really fun time in the first batch, second batch, third batch, and so on. And we really prepared the candidates. And Sanjay's at any given time is a wonderful. He can act in both roles. He can act as a fresher himself, and he can act as a wonderful judge and interviewer, hiring manager as well. So Premsai, are you ready? I'm just doing the talking because I wanted you to display it on the screen, if possible.
I have shared it to Sanjay as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's great. So Sanjay, have you received that? Is it? I'm not sure if you're on laptop
No,
or.
did you email me or like?
I have shared it in your WhatsApp, Sanjay.
Okay, okay, fine. Let me share my screen. Okay, done.
One thing you'll note about Sanjay is, and which I really love, I admire the fact that he's prepared. When you talk to him, like he was prepared with both his cell phone as well as a laptop. So I would expect all my leads when you're anything unexpected can happen, because I can change the direction of any seminar based upon the the things that suddenly come up in my mind. I can change the direction. So please be ready for such kind of surprises. But like Sanjay is prepared with the laptop as well. He's able to display that. I hope my leads got the hint and the messages. Yes, Sanjay. Sorry. Lakshmi, how do you want to go about this? You want to um, uh, present this for a couple minutes and then let Sanjay prepare the audience with the kind of questions that he would have asked.
Yeah, I'm really not prepared at this moment. I will let Sanjay ask like what are the questions we can expect from this dashboard, and I will think
No,
of
no,
like
no,
how
no,
can
no,
I
no,
answer
no.
for them.
Lakshmi, we are not going to leave you that easy. You have to say what this was about, because he has to, because any hiring manager has to get an idea of what is it that you displayed a file, he presented it on screen. You can tell us a little bit about what this dashboard. I think you gave one liner about what this dashboard is about.
Yeah.
So so at least give him something to go with. Describe a little bit about this dashboard, and then he can ask the questions.
Yeah, so I will explain in the way Sanjay has explained itself. So coming to data cleaning, the data was clean. I couldn't explore like changing data types. I couldn't get to explore anything in the Power Query editor thing. I've kept the data model, data cleaning as same. And next, coming to data modeling, I have uh, combined all the tables. And I have created a date table to analyze the data with respect to month that you can see, and I have connected it to the remaining tables. And then I have done the visualization where I have showed different KPIs that you can see, like total defects, total downtime, total plans, total rejected quantity, and total vendors. So I have used data bars to highlight what is the combination of material and vendor that performed poorly. And I've used a heat map to show the total defects by category, and also a ribbon chart to showcase the total defects by month and data type. I've used a smart narrative visual of the Power BI to show the key insights that is generated from this dashboard. And I've used a scatter plot to basically demonstrate the total defects and total downtime minutes by each plan.
Thank
And
you.
what
That
else
was
I
a.
wanted to
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
what else I wanted to explore is I have received a feedback from Rushika is to try the drill through function, and also there is one key, I forgot the name. There is one AI visual. I'm not getting that at this point.
Don't worry. Thank you for doing this, Lakshmi. It was a very good, highlight and bullets about what you have done. So, assuming that, I know that Rashika was one of the judges for this presentation that you kept ready. Now, assume that you had a sometimes you have a blank judge, the external invigilator in a viva, and nobody knows who that person is, and suddenly he comes and I'm the professor of the college. I offer him tea and coffee, and I say, please sit down, sir. And Lakshmi is one of our good students, and or uh, or we are in an interview setting where I say, the next up we have Lakshmi. Lakshmi has made the speech, and Sanjay has not never seen this thing before, which is true. So now Sanjay will help the audience understand what kind of questions would have come on this particular scenario. Sanjay, over to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Sanjay.
Okay. Okay, so in this project, what are the top 3 things you learned? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Sanjay.
Okay.
Lakshmi, you can, if you have answers, you can say, so that, I mean, act as a fresher, so that the audience is also prepared on what kind of questions are asked, and um,
The top 3 things I learned is you are asking the insights or what I learned in Power BI. Like, can I understand the context of the question?
Both.
The top three, the top 3 things I learned is how I can visualize the data differently. For example, like I have tried visualize. If you can see the filter in 2018 and 2019, I had used month-wise. It's month-wise visualizing it month-wise. It's month-wise itself, total defects by month. So I tried to experiment there. And one more thing is I had planned to do one another visual that is called as decomposition tree, where you can show the number of defects with respect to the number of defects with respect. I'm not really prepared for this.
And the third?
And then the third is like, if you can scroll down, Sanjay. So here we can see like, no, I don't know how to answer this question.
Okay, so what are the top 3 insights which you got from the data?
Lakshmi, you here?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, so what are the top 3 insights from the data?
We're not really prepared for this.
You are really lucky, Sanjay and I are not in an actual session in the portfolio with you, because we would have rejected and we would have withheld your certificates until you can answer the questions. We would have grilled you 5 times.
No problem. I'll prepare it better next time.
All right. All right. Thank you. So Sanjay, what other kind of questions typically are asked during the interviews to a typical candidate when they're suppose, because Lakshmi has given one example. There can be many examples, and you and I have sat down in so many sessions together.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yep. So please go ahead. I think the other challenge that Lakshmi might be facing is not only it was a sudden surprise. She thought that I'd give surprise only to her audiences, not to her own leads. But she does not. She's learning that I'm very hard on Prem and other people because I want my leads to be the best role models. And Prem Sai, of course, is one of them, and Lakshmi is another one. But she's probably traveling in a marketplace, something, and totally unprepared. She's more prepared for the International Women's Day or the Shivratri. So, Sanjay, please go ahead. Please forgive my suddenness, and please go ahead.
Can I know what is the canvas size which you have used? So, I mean, generally canvas size default is 1280 into 720, 720p. What is the canvas size used for this project?
I have used a custom one. I have customized
Okay.
it. I haven't
What are
used 16.9 or letter format. I have customized it.
Okay. What are the dimensions? Like what ratio or what are the height?
I guess it is 1500 height and 1400 width.
Width is how much?
1400.
Height?
1500.
No, if it is 1400 and 500, it's like a square shape. But I don't see it's a square shape. See, it is wide actually. It is like a vertical rectangle. So
Okay.
I don't think it is 1400 versus 1500.
Okay. But I have customized it.
Okay. And also I see that like you have used different fonts. So which font is used here? What is the font used here and here? What is this font and what is this font? The name of the font which you have used.
Sanjay, like this is not the corrected one, but generally I try to use the Sigoi font. So if it is differing, then I have to replicate the same with all the charts.
Okay, but in this particular case, what is this font and this font?
You're asking about heading?
Yes, I mean the supplier inside dashboard. What is the name of this font which you have used? This looks different from the rest of them.
Yeah, I thought to keep the heading different rather than dashboard. Is
Okay,
that
so
right thing to do?
Which you have used for the heading?
I don't remember the name, but I believe other fonts are Sigoi.
No, this is not Sego. The numbers are not Sego at least. Maybe I think the description could be Sego. But okay, what is the font used for the numbers?
Font size or style?
Font name used for numbers.
I don't remember Sanjay.
Okay, fine. And with respect to the project here, I see that you have given total defects by month. So you tried to show a trend from January to December. So in this particular chart, do you think is there any other alternate visual? Okay, line chart is good, I understand. What other alternate visuals can we use in place of line chart to show the same information, to show the same trend?
Generally, if we have to show the data with respect to time, we use a line chart, but we can
Okay,
use a bar chart as well. Bar chart.
Okay, bar chart. What other alternatives are there?
Now, whenever I try to visualize the data, I usually make use of a line chart or a bar chart.
Wait. Is it bar chart or column chart? Which one?
Sorry, it is a column chart.
Okay, so column chart is one alternative. What other alternatives are there? So line chart, column chart, and what else? What other options?
Is it decomposition tree?
No, but you can't show trend in a decomposition tree. You can show the breakup. But here I want
Yeah,
to see that.
that's right.
So what other visual you can use apart from column chart and line chart?
Only think of these two at this time.
Don't you think we can also use an area chart? Have you tried area chart anytime?
No, that is the reason that didn't strike me. I haven't tried area chart. I will try to implement that.
Okay, okay, fine. And here, can you tell me what is the name of this visual?
Heat map.
What? Can you repeat?
It's tree map, right?
Tree map. Yes. So can you tell me what are the situations when we use a tree map?
So tree map will be used when tree map will be used when we have to visualize the data with respect to, for example, different location. I can take an example of that. For example, if I take different countries data, for example, India, US, Sri Lanka, something like that. If I have to visualize data with respect to different countries, at that time, I can make use of a tree map where I can showcase it in a tree map. And if I click on one country, it will show the data relevant to it.
Okay, okay, fine. And here I see that you have used a ribbon chart. So in ribbon chart, what customizations you can do? What customization options are available in a tree map? Sorry, in a ribbon chart, which you have used here. How can it be presented in a different manner? Like you have format options, right, in a ribbon chart. So what customizations the Power BI allow us to do for a ribbon chart?
I think if I talk about ribbon chart, it will not good to present like more than 3 or 4 ribbons because it will be confusing. And regarding customization, is sorting an option?
No, ribbon chart by default the biggest. Yeah, you can do ascending, descending. Okay, what else?
Yeah, that is one of the options.
And what else?
Yeah, that is how much I have explored till now.
Okay, okay, fine. And here I see that what is the name of the visual?
That is scatter plot.
Okay, so apart from so here you have the here you have downtime and here you have defects. I see. So
yeah.
So this is y-axis and this is x-axis.
Right.
So we have this concept of dependent variable and independent variable. So generally, which variable will be on x-axis, which variable will be on y-axis? Dependent variable or
So, audience members, I want you to note that this is how we prepare when we are studying in the COE, or when we are getting mentored by the leads. We always discuss these kind of questions internally as a family, so that when you go outside and you're getting ready for interviews, then you are feeling you are able to focus on, because sometimes we are not prepared for all these kind of questions that Sanjay is asking. Some of them are very easy, some of them we don't even think about what can be asked. So if you are taking some mentoring time with us, this is how you'll be prepared very well, so that when you go out you feel very confident. You feel कि, "Arey, this was something I discussed with Sanjay yesterday, this was something I discussed with Arun day before, this was discussed with Lakshmi or Prem Sai just 2 days back." So this is the kind of confidence we want to build up in you. That's the whole point. So don't be shy of showing up, because showing up is the most important thing in life. If you don't show up, and only then you'll be lacking. But if you show up, start talking to us, start reaching out, That's when you gain confidence. Sanjay, you've been asking a lot of easy questions. What can be some of the tough questions? Like if you increase the difficulty one more notch, what
Okay.
would you have asked?
Yes. Okay. So, Lakshmi, here I know that you have used a tree map. Can you tell me what are the disadvantages of tree map? What are the limitations of a tree map visual?
Limitations, as I can see from a layman's perspective itself, if you include more things, it will either get confusing or too clumsy on screen to see. I believe that is one of the disadvantage.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's say if I have a negative value, will it come in the tree map or will it not come in the tree map? See, these are all positive values. Let's say if I have a negative value, so will that negative value show up in the tree map or it will not show up?
I think it will show.
Are you sure?
I haven't worked on negative values anywhere before tree map.
Sanjay, this is funny because whenever an interviewer, it's like "Kaun banega karodpati" mein when Amitabh Bachchan is asking a question, "Are you sure? Lock kar diya jaye." The best of participants, even if they are very prepared and they are confident, the moment he says, "Are you sure?" Many people have this feeling ki, oh, maybe I answered wrong or maybe I answered right. I love the suspense. Again, Sanjay and I, guys, audience members who will be listening to this recording later on or who are present live, I want you to understand that this grilling, think of this grilling as a preparation exercise. Don't be afraid of it, don't be shy of it, don't be have the guts to show up, because um, we are trying to help prepare you for the tough tough most interviews that can be there on any given project. So take advantage of the time of people that are here, of all the mentors.
I have never seen negative value in tree maps and this.
Okay, fine. Okay, so here you are using a scatter plot, right? So right now we this y-axis and x-axis. So if we come back, so which one is? I mean, there is a concept of dependent and independent variables. So that is how we generally plot a scatter plot. So which one of these is a dependent variable? Which one of is the independent variable in this visual, and why? So among the
Take a
downtime and
minute to
defects,
think.
which is independent variable and which is dependent variable?
Okay, so I will. I'm not aware of the concept of dependent and independent, but what I can think from my perspective is total defects can be a dependent variable and downtime minutes can be independent. And the idea why I'm getting there is because we know how many defects are there, but we cannot always predict the downtime. So that can be the independent variable.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, right now I'm able to see two parameters. One is downtime, second one is defect. Now, let's say if I have a third parameter. So for two parameters, scatter plot works fine. Let's say if I have three parameters, which chart can I use?
Yeah, that is what my next invention was, which I was telling in the initial stage of product. That time we can use the decomposer visual library.
No, we cannot use see, here we are talking about the relationship between two variables. Now a third variable will get added. So when a third variable get added, which visual can we use? Because in decomposition tree, you cannot see the relationship. It will only show the breakup. I don't want breakup. I want to see the relationship between the two existing variables, and I also want to add a third variable.
Okay.
So which visual can I use?
I don't have any idea.
Have you ever used bubble chart? It will be just beside the scatter plot in Power BI.
Okay. So
So
when
in the
we have a third variable, we can use that.
So the bubble size will increase. Right now, all the bubbles are same in size. If you add a third variable, then all the bubble sizes will proportionately increase or decrease depending on the variable magnitude.
Got it, understood.
Okay, fine. And what, so here I see this scatter plot is, I'm just observing, there is something which is very wrong with the visual. Can you identify what is the mistake in this visual?
Is it with the visual or with the insight?
Visual. Something is very wrong with the visual.
I think I have compressed it and the insights are not clear.
No, this
Is
visual.
that the one?
I'm not talking about this right side one. I'm talking about the scatter plot only.
Scatter plot.
What is
No,
wrong?
I'm not able to find out.
There is something very wrong and misleading in the visual.
No, Sanjay, I couldn't find out.
Scatter plot.
Sanjay, right now, Lakshmi's it is a simple demo from our brave Lakshmi. But other people are enjoying it because, Arey wah, typically when you are in the class, you think, oh, the invigilator is asking Sanjay tough questions. Oh, now the second person, now the second. So what we tell, if the audience is listening, what we do is when we are doing this in a group session, everyone has to present. So we want to have sessions in the future where we take groups of three people, like three people present on one Saturday, the next three people present on the other Saturday. So we have between 3 to 5 people presenting something, anything, each Saturday, and we'll have either myself or Sanjay come in. So that way, nobody can say, "Oh, we enjoyed Lakshmi ka grilling ho raha tha. Only Lakshmi was being grilled. We enjoyed it." Everybody should offer to that they get grilled, because when you go to the actual live interviews, by that time everybody would have been grilled and everybody will feel great and confident. And this is just for the portfolio. The same thing, the same exercise we are willing to do for the interviews, for the mock sessions. And that is why Lakshmi has done a wonderful job by putting, you can, it's for free, where you can, on her top mate, you can book sessions and ask us any kind of career questions, whether it is technical, non-technical, whatever. But please send her those questions in advance and try to make sure that I'm available. Uh, don't try to take all the sessions on weekends only, because weekends get pretty busy. You can have sessions on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, based upon the availability of people, either it'll be me or Sanjay at times or somebody else, but you'll get a similar experience. Sorry, so Sanjay, we will take 2 or 3 more tough questions or easy questions, whatever, a mix of tough and easy questions. Have 3 or 4 more, because the whole idea was to show them a a view of what a judge, what, because in an interview, if they get a panel, there could be a tougher person, there could be an easy person who just asks, hey, nice, if he says nice to everything and moves away, right? Some interviewers will be tough and they might ask technical questions. Some people be more focused on the business acumen side. So depending up, so so we are trying to show, if Lakshmi had a tough interviewer, what we asked. If Lakshmi had uh, happy go, happy kind of an interviewer, what he'll ask.
Yes.
Sanjay, can you please tell me what is wrong with the scatter plot?
See, the scat, I mean, it's, see, here if you want to answer questions like this, you need to have very good data visualization skills and also observational skills, because data visualization is a front end. So this is front end development, this is not back end. So we have to be very careful with respect to how we visualize. The thing which is wrong with this visual is the axis should always start from 0. The axis is not starting from 0. So it's giving an impression that Florence has almost like no defects, very few defects, and downtime is also very less. If the axis starts from 0, then we'll get the real picture. Because axis is not starting from 0, it is giving a different picture altogether. It's misleading.
Yeah, I'll correct that, Sanjay.
And Lakshmi, this is where we say only when somebody has practiced, like you did your first, this was your first trial thing, right? And sudden, when you
Yeah,
practice the
not
second
first, it's
time based
almost
upon the
second. Yeah.
yeah, fine. So what I'm saying is, when somebody practices, let's say somebody's interview is coming up 15 days later, or they are still applying and they're waiting. But when they're waiting, instead of watching Netflix, instead of doing other things, they should practice a little bit of Power BI daily, and then ask for feedback. And the way to ask for feedback is not sending it in a group and saying, can someone give me some feedback? And they'll send it to somebody, or they will put it on their LinkedIn and say, here's my portfolio. That is one start. That is a decent thing to do. But the best thing to do is join the portfolio group that we have and come up and say, hey, my name is Arun, or my name is Sanjay, or my name is Lakshmi, and I would like to take some appointment with you on a Saturday or on a Friday, and I would want to talk through my project. And please ask me questions, or please prepare me for where I'm going wrong. That is the best way to utilize us, right? All right, Sanjay, two more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, Lakshmi, you understood, right? What is wrong with visual?
Yes, sir. Yes, Sanjay. And one more thing, can you please tell me about the background, like Canva background? What settings should I make? Because I mostly tend to use the custom setting.
For which one you're saying?
For this report itself, is there anything wrong with the height and the width?
No, it is fine. But generally, when people see on laptop, it's a wide screen.
Yeah.
They will be able to scroll and see.
Okay.
Probably you can divide it into 2 pages. See, imagine if
Gotcha.
I want to put this report in a PowerPoint presentation, how will I put it?
Yeah,
Or if I
that
want to
is
take,
also one of the challenges I have. I have faced this one.
yeah.
So should I prefer 16.9 or how is it, Sanjay?
16.9. I mean, see, it depends. Like laptop, MacBooks have 16:10. A lot of laptops have 16:10. So if you remove the top portion and the bottom portion for the windows and all these things, and on the side portions left and right, yeah, 16:9 will work fine.
Okay. But there are some other formats like letter format,
Yes.
or if I have to customize it. Is it possible to replicate the same in PPT?
Yeah, see, PPTs are these days 16:9. So anything which can fit in the PPT square is also fine. Yeah.
Okay, got it, Sanjay.
Okay. So here on the title you have so now we are asked, now we are in tough questions. That's why I'm asking. So I see that you have kept the title as Supplier Insights Dashboard. So what you build,
Yeah.
report or a dashboard? What is the difference between a report and a dashboard? Or both are same?
No, both are definitely not same.
Okay. So what is the difference? What is the difference between a report and a dashboard?
If I have to say it in a simple language, like report is something where you are analyzing the historic data, and a dashboard is something where you are presenting it visually.
No, I don't want general definition. I want definition from Power BI perspective. So Microsoft has a specific definition for both. I mean, I don't want word to word. I just want to know what is the difference from Power BI perspective. Like you mentioned, both are different. Now, what makes them different?
Okay, a report is something we build on multiple pages, and dashboard is something we build in single page. Is that right?
Okay, that is one difference. And what else?
Lakshmi is sitting and thinking, I I thought that he's going to only invite Sanjay to say hi. Why was I hosting this session? Why did I invite Sanjay? Why am I being
No. Even if I waited for Sanjay's time, I wouldn't get this opportunity so quickly. So I'm just making maximum use of it.
fantastic? I love the spirit.
Yes, Sanjay. So other difference, I'm not sure. I just told one difference.
Okay. Someone. No. See.
And for a dash, yeah.
See, the main difference is in dashboard there are no interactions. It is just for viewing. Report means there will be slicers where you can interact with it. So again, don't go with dictionary or chat GPT or general definitions. Go with Microsoft definition of dashboard and report from Power BI perspective. So from Power BI perspective, report means you interact with it. There are slicers. You can do slice and dice and you can do the filters and all these things. But in dashboard, you cannot do. It is only for viewing. That's it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Can I frame it in my words? Like a dashboard is something where you present it to the end users and they don't have any access to edit or something like that. Report is something when we build it ourselves. Am I right?
No, it has nothing to do with read or edit access. It has everything to do with the user interaction.
Got it.
Okay, another tough question. So I see that you have used conditional formatting here. And here clearly you mentioned the total defects are 1164. And of course, this is rounded off figure, which is matching with this 11636. Let's assume that it's rounded off because there is 36. So 36 means 6 means it gets rounded off to the next number, which is matching. And here also the downtime 579, which is matching with this downtime. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now my question is, why is the total showing 11.93%? Shouldn't it show 100%? Because this is the breakup, if I'm not wrong. So basically all these totals will sum up to this. So when that is the case, why this is showing 11.93? Shouldn't it
Yes,
show
Sanjay.
100%?
To explain, yeah, that is basically a DAX created. I've created a DAX to calculate the total rejected quantity. And if I had access to laptop, I would explain it better, like on what basis I've created the DAX.
No, I just want to know. I mean, I don't want to get into the nitty gritties. I just want to know why it's showing 11.93. Why it is not showing 100%.
Is it comparing against anything?
No, I'm asking that. Yes. Is 11.93 correct or it should show 100%?
No, that is correct.
Okay.
But I just want to take a look at DAX. But if I see the formula, I'll be able to see.
Lakshmi, I have a great suggestion for you. If you can go to one of my great leads, she goes by the name of Lakshmi TS. If you can go to her top mate and book an appointment with me and Sanjay, we can and please my lead who is, will schedule an appointment with you. And because you're a lead, we are willing to do it at a time convenient to you.
I'll book a session.
Thank you. So, guys, so these are, I mean, and we can go on and on about these kind of things, but you get a gist of how you get prepared, and because we first have a baseline. So, what Sanjay was doing was he established a baseline where we are today and what are some of the gaps that were found or how we can improve. Maybe Lakshmi was brave to give the answers, and where she did not know, she said she did not know. But next time we go through the same exercise, she would be 100 times more confident, right? So this is how we want you to come up, and please start booking the sessions or take advantage of the weekend seminars. These are important things being done for you guys. It's not for Sanjay, it's not for me, it's not for Prem Sai.
And generally what people say is, I prepared for everything except the questions you asked. Generally people say something like that, and that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Yeah.
And I did not go technical. I did not ask how many lines of DAX code or what functions did Lakshmi use. I did not say anything. All I asked for
Or
very
the
generic questions.
size of
Yeah,
the
it was only
project,
based on
drill
leisures.
down. Yeah. Yeah, Sanjay, to my mind, I asked you to ask tough questions, and you still looking at your audience, you kept it like really, really simple ones.
Yes.
All right. Uh, Please understand, guys, all of you who are listening or who will be listening, please understand that this is not aimed at making fun of anybody or letting people down or making them feel, oh my God, you don't know anything. The whole idea is to prepare you guys. The whole idea is to prepare you. I'll say it one more time. Very honestly, we try to prepare our COE people in such a way that when you go for actual interviews, this is just the portfolio part. When you go for the interviews, you feel good from inside that yes, whatever question will come, I'll be able to answer it. Or the question that I'm not able to answer, at least I will uh, present myself in the best possible way. So I know that I've repeated this 10 times during this session, but this session was very, very important for us. And those of you who want to learn um, awareness from YouTube course stuff is fine, but like take the opportunity when Rashika's when I think she's launching something, and if you're interested, go talk to her because you looked at her 7 pillars and very systematic way of teaching. So take advantage of these kind of opportunities whenever they present themselves. Um, with that, I think Lakshmi, we have a session coming up for the book club soon, right? What time is it? 8:30 India time.
It should have. It's 8 p.m. It should have started by now. So
Oh, it should have started by now. So I think Sanjay,
Yeah.
please stay for some time, please, because this is the first meeting, almost the first meeting of the book club.
Yes,
So
yes.
let's
Even I
jump
am
into
also thinking of joining it. Yeah.
yeah. So let's jump into that and let's carry on our dialogue because this is just a meet and greet. So very quickly, thank you everybody who's present. Thank you Lakshmi. Thank you Sanjay. We'll see you in our live. If you want to join the library meeting, please join us. I would be very happy if you join because we'll be there in 3 minutes. Lakshmi, please close off the recording. We'll catch up later with everybody.
yeah, I'll ask him to close.
Yeah, thank you. I'm joining the library one.
Yeah.
Okay.